Hello, hello, hello. It's time for some more Arknights. Today we are continuing Stultifera Navis. We are continuing the story of birds and fish, of the Abyssal Hunters, and Iberia's Inquisition. I mean, I guess that's the same thing, yeah. And it appears we have quite a bit to go. I am very much looking forward to playing more. And we have a certain someone who I recently got to E2. Only E2 level 1, but that should be fine for a while. I'm very excited to start getting to use them a little bit more. So hopefully we'll be able to see a bunch of that today. There's going to be a lot of story, and I will be doing my best to voice act it. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's kind of the goal for the day, is just progressing as far as we can. Seeing as much of the story as we can. Alright then. I don't think there's much else to say. Let's go ahead and hop into it. There we go. Into Grenfell. We have 2 things available to us. Yes, 2. Okay. We have Cold Reef Port. The calamity completely reshaped Iberia's coastline. The majestic harbor built more than 70 years ago sank into the sea without a trace. It goes without saying that Cold Reef Port cannot hold a candle to it. Though small, it still reserves a few berths for massive ships. In reality, those ships would never return to port. We can prepare to board, though. A few of the small vessels prepared beforehand by the Penal Battalion are moored in the port. When they set sail into the sea for the first time, they will face completely unknown winds and waves. After the plan to build Grenfell was put on hold, Cold Reef Port was almost never used. The few voyages in the port's records were mostly small-scale search missions carried out by the Inquisition and the Penal Battalion. Nobody ever returned from those expeditions. Today, this long-since lonely port will finally see off another ship from its embrace. Its crew was set out to find the Eye of Iberia that is still looking out over the ocean. The Penal Battalion prepared the boat in advance, the old dock worker carrying out work he was unfamiliar with, loading the vessel with supplies for the voyagers. The boat slowly left the port, disappearing from the people's sight. The dock worker thought to himself that he might never get the chance to send off another ship in his few remaining years. The warehouse holds supplies designated for the next voyage. The only problem? Nobody knows when that will be, or if it will ever happen. To beat a total of 80 Nethersea Predators, including those in tutorials. 10 out of 80. Oh boy. Okay, so we can come back a lot later to that. The Eye of Iberia. Nobody knows why this lighthouse survived the disaster. Perhaps it is because no matter how terrifying the wind and waves may be, nothing can stop people from gazing towards the sea. Iberia's eyes will never close. only be temporarily clouded over. No landing point. It shuts its eyes, its sweet dreams unperturbed for over a decade. Ugh. What is this disgusting floor? What's happening? Is it the sea terrors? Tiago. Amaya. What's going on? Didn't you say those Church of the Deep cultists wouldn't show up? They made a complete mess of the place. Tiago, I came to say goodbye. What? It's about time for me, too. It's about time for me, too. And the opportunity is hard to come by now. That's all it is. I don't understand. Tiago. The Inquisitors are here. A whole 3 of them. Jordy's in their hands. Don't, Tiago. Jordy came back by his own will. What can you do against 3 Inquisitors? Doesn't he know what it means to be bound by the Inquisition? You've told him so many times that I'd be shocked if he didn't. That's how people are. Reason might tell us to take every advantage and avoid the opposite. But people are so complicated, you can't judge that so easily. I wouldn't call Jordy a fool for his choice. That's not the time. Now's not the time to argue over morality. This is his nature we're talking about. Character, not morality, Mayor Tiago. There's a certain beauty in human nature. Even time can't deny that. What are you getting at? Do you hate the Inquisition? The sea terrors have blanketed this town, but remember, Tiago. Remember. Remember that rainy night? When the Penal Battalion charged into town, breaking down doors. The unending screams drowned out the pitter-patter of the rain. No, stop. And now? The sea's brand is spreading across town. Have you heard any screams? Have you seen anyone being senselessly slaughtered or hunted down? You haven't. Right now, all that remains in Grand Pharaoh is stillness. I never knew that the ocean was so vast. The sea breeze blows past. Jordy cannot believe what's before his eyes. He had always thought the sea's horizon was the sky's end. Not until witnessing this boundless expanse of waves for himself does Jordy, the eager, have a sudden question. Why has humanity never desired to explore this? How could we ever determine our position out here? It's not as if the moons are signal beacons. Well, the stars can be read like a map. You're funny. I can't tell if that's intentionally meant to be like... It's not like people do that in real life. No, totally not. Why can't we read the stars like a map? Ask a professional astronomer and find out. Then, if Igir is really under the water, then how big is it? Bigger than Iberia? There's a handful of genuine Igir over there. How about you ask them? Yes, because they seem very approachable. No offense. You would ask the lady with the giant spear, or the one who seems to have completely lost her mind, or the other one with the giant sword. All of them look unhappy to be here. Go and ask them a couple of questions about their past and their homeland. Because that's gonna go well. They seem like they have their own worries, though. They're all so solemn. Shark, what are you listening to? The wind. There's an offering of kin mingled with the sea breeze. It puts me much at ease. She gets more and more like this the closer we are to the sea. Even though in Salviento she was so... Do you know why? I could guess, but it would only disturb your judgment. We have a battle before us. Did you ever attempt to return to the sea after your narrow escape to shore? Of course. I failed. There was no end to them. They surrounded me. I ran out of strength before I could even swim far. I tried so many times. But you're still alive. We are all well aware of the changes in our bodies, Scotty. You included. Shark may have suffered some injury, but none of my hunters are so fragile. And she's the same as us. Spectre. Once a victim of the Church of the Deep, or Virginium, absent in the ocean, has affected her in a whole host of ways. Why bring along such an uncertain element? We're going home. It does not concern you. Home? But circumstances in Aegir can hardly be better than in Iberia. Raise your lantern, Inquisitor. Let's prepare to greet our first enemies. So, they've come. One final question. Are there really only 3 Abyssal Hunters? If there were others, I would have long since found them. So you're telling me Adriana just doesn't exist? You're telling me that she doesn't exist. She just... Either that or you're a liar. What compels you to ask? Is this ship's course true? Undoubtedly. The sea terrors are becoming more explicitly hostile as we approach the Eye of Iberia. Perhaps it is already their nest. Fighting them aboard the ship would waste far too much time. Scotty, Shark, defend this vessel. Keep an eye on the primitive signal navigation facilities while you're at it. I will enter the sea. I'll go with you. You are stronger in the sea, but so are they. And we cannot plead down there. The risk is too high. What's wrong? Are the monsters attacking again? No, I can't see any. I don't know what's happening under the water, but... That muffled booming. What's going on down there? Is she fighting below? No. She's just... moving. She's faster in the water. You telling me she created a sonic boom in the water? What did she do? How can anyone move faster through water than air? Habit, I guess. Or maybe it's a skill. The sea terrors are following her. She's opened up a passage. I retake Briogan's descent and continue to steer. Pick up speed before the enemy surrounds us. I mean, it's scary, yeah. Welcome, by the way. They've left. The seas won't be peaceful. If you worry for them, we'd best hurry up and finish our business. Red Pharaoh is only an outpost to recapture the lighthouse. Retaking it is all that matters. I'm surprised that Iberia can already exploit Aegir technology to resist an encroaching Nethersea brand. Regardless, the rate of its evolution is faster than any one scientist's genius. If we seek victory, we must use whatever we can. Even an army, I see. This is a plain, unremarkable town. Perhaps there are more strategic locations waiting for the Inquisition to recapture them, one by one. More favorable battlefields, grander walls and fortifications. But sometimes, it's fine to start with what's at hand. However many Iberians are willing to fight to the death against the waves, that's how many soldiers we can field. Let's begin the cleanup. Hey, are we still not there yet? According to the nautical map, we should be at least... We should be able to at least see it by now. High Inquisitor, we have to head deeper in or else... No. Look it up. I see it. You need my glasses, Irene? I can give you them. What? There's nothing but black overhead. I can't see. No, that's not the sky. They've made it their nest by now. Very close to the shore. No wonder their numbers are so great. We can just cut them all down, like before. Yes, like before. Shark? So that is... their eye. Why does it feel so familiar? It has been caked in filth for too long, unable to open its lid. I'll clear a bath. Jordy, come with us. Okay. I hope I can be of some help. Module states an incident with a robed Iberian when she was a child. She recognizes the other abyssal hunters, but they don't recognize her. Common theory is that she is partially successful Iberian experiment to replicate abyssal hunters. Huh. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That does sound vaguely familiar. I'm gonna have to reread her module. No, it's something only you can do. Hope she appears in the story someday. Yeah, that'd be nice. If you can't, we'll have to change strategies and prioritize ensuring the Inquisition's tacticians can make it here safely. And in the battle to come, we'll have no time to take care of the fate of a solipsistic Aegir. Got it. You seem nervous. Aegir, you don't understand what finally reaching this island again signifies for us. And what would that be? Ever since the Panel Battalion discovered remnant signals from the lighthouse, we made 17 attempts to make landfall, 8 of which succeeded in setting foot on this reef. Hundreds of soldiers and 3 Inquisitors. No one returned alive. Don't tell me your superior Aegir ethics teach you to respect your heroes, but forsake their memory. The High Inquisitor and I. The Iberians will hold a memorial for those who died at sea. I do not mean to pick at your morals. All I can say is that, in the face of the ocean, we are all alone and weak. Do as you wish, but we are pressed for time. The foot falls on the reef. The Colossus hides in the jet-black winds, only by tilting one's head back and gazing far up as one can distinguish it from the murky sky. Oh, this art is so good. The Eye of Iberia. A final pair of eyes, sealed shut. So tall. The scale of that statue in town has to be wrong. High Inquisitor. This is what we once... It is. My first time seeing it as well. The two remain silent for a moment, dead in their tracks as they look over at this vast spectacle that survived only in documents and records. The enduring reality of Iberia goes far beyond what she was taught, Irene thinks. Despite the Abyssal Hunter's ample disdain for them, despite the balance of the nation well and truly crumbling. Despite it all, this lighthouse is an emblem of past glory and wild ambition, of dreams and the domination of the unknown. Whatever feelings may roil in your heart at this moment, engrave them all. This building, these worn swords and lanterns, these reefs, and this ocean. Carve into your heart just what humanity has built in its struggle. Keep it with you forever, at all times. We do not venerate our sacrifices. Our scales are meaningless. Yes, sir. Enter carefully. Got it. What are you doing? Have we come home? No, not yet. What if we find out what Calcite and the captain are looking for here? Maybe we can. Just hold on. We're almost there. It's too quiet. But it still stinks. Yes, the reef is coated in remnant Nethersea brand. I can see traces of man-made objects too, rotted for the most part. Claudia paces slowly. She looks up at the tower, standing against the tenebrous sky. The eye of Iberia is directed towards the heavens, as if upon this finite soil, life cranes its neck, wanting to see the future. The nations of the land have done all they can to reproduce Breogan's remaining legacy. These so-called lighthouses are an emulation of Aegir technology through and through. What can this lighthouse be awaiting, sat in this void and empty sea? Does it watch the ocean? Or the land, I wonder? Captain? I know. Within is a sea terror nest. The lack of an immediate attack may merely be defensive, a guarding of the den. It's about time they come. There's not too many. You see, the coast is already out of sight. Sentimental? No, I just mean we can't bleed here. It'll be extremely dangerous. They can't pierce our skin. So long as you do not cease your dance, these numbers are insufficient to kill us. The lighthouse really is just like the statue in town. Which means those blueprints at home really were from my mother and father. The Eye of Iberia. My parents were once in this very place. Jordy looks back toward the shore. Each and every day, his mind went back to his view of that overcast shore. A lifeless, gray, a hopeless crowd. But, look at this lighthouse, he thinks. Uncle Thiago was right. They were all heroes. They were all meant to be legends. The Abyssal Hunters should be regrouping not far from here. They will be joining this battle too. Don't forget what you experienced in Salviento. Their blood is highly unusual, and Calcite hardly told us anything. Understood. So they can't be trusted. What did you see beneath the Inquisition? Seaborn. You should still remember their twistedness, their vitality, their serenity. In Salviento, the hunters did battle such a monster and emerged victorious. I know that. You've seen the truth. So now you must reassess your past and Iberia. Tear apart the old swimming through your head. Make your own judgments. Yes, sir. They're ready for us. We're drawn to defend their nest, waiting for the chance to strike. Here to drive out the invaders. Jordy, report. Right. It's Mariko, really. His control panels outside are still responding, but I'm not sure what theory these things are based on. I'm looking, though. I have all those research notes from home with me in my bag. Be quick about it. I know, it's this one. No, that's not it. When did this one get wet? High Inquisitor, they're here. Hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome. The billows rage forth. Their arrogance surges dozens of meters high, shattering one day after another, coming to the reef and the three moons. One moon is bright, one moon is dark. These are the moons spoken of throughout time, hung in the sky. The remaining moon comes from the intervals betwixt the waves, at the peaks of every crest. The moonlight comes from the title he once believed in. Oh, you look cool! He's probably evil, though! I'm going to take a wild guess and say the lighthouse entrance... The lighthouse entrance is probably... Yeah. Okay. That's what we get to do! Who are we replacing here? Sorry, Lee, you're getting replaced. Read!
Perfect. I've been very curious to see how Rhodes Island carries out its missions.
Cement is so hard. Oh, I look forward to it. I know there's a lot of absolute BS with a lot of like dodge chances and things like that. 80% dodge chance, unblockable. Unless you silence off of the friggin' thingamabob, it's whack. Trying to set up trust farms and it has been rough. Ooh. Yeah, I've heard auto deploy is not exactly the most consistent thing in the world with most of these levels. Where are we at? What is this? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Fire the Hand of the Saint in the deployed direction, stunning and dealing damage to enemies it collides with. Interesting. Okay. I don't want to do that right now. Wow, look at that. That's not going well at all. I should not have done that. We're gonna set you up here. Hope this works. There's only one stage I can manage to get consistent. Oh boy. No. No. You suck. Okay, hold on. You are not getting through there.
One step backwards.
By you, I mean the brand. Here, it's done. Yep. I freaking swear! Okay. Oh my gosh. I have an almost lore accurate trust farm? Dang. Spectre, Lumen, Irene, and Absurd Wolf, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna need to... So... Okay.
I want everyone to get home safe.
You go here. Stages need fast starts for the most part, yeah. 16, we go there.
Not one step backwards.
Fight! Fight standing! It's gonna go that way, and I think I'm just gonna have to deal with it in all honesty. Can I?
My sword will respond the instant I spot the movement. Don't step into the shadows.
There's that. Which part of this dodge? What just happened? Ah, crud.
I'll do my best.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't stop anything anymore. Ah. you can stop it with levitate. Okay. Okay, here you go, Lapland. This is your time. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Huh? Okay, I know it was said that this has like near light levels of story, but I didn't realize that we'd be seeing near light characters. Okay. Is it morning already? The operator's equipment was a lot more seriously damaged than we anticipated. Still, the fact that they managed to save so many people from that catastrophe is a testament to how amazing they are. I got the chin up as well. Hi, Maria. I'm here to pick up an order from the engineering department. Oh, Granny, just a moment. Let's see, where did I put that? Sorry, I haven't tidied up this place in for a few days, so it's a bit of a dump. It sure looks like a proper Casimirian workshop. Casimirian workshop than the last time I stopped by. Huh? What's this? A novel? The Last Night. What's that doing here? Did it get stuck underneath the blueprints when I was flipping through my boxes and drawers yesterday? I was wondering where it had gone. The Last Night. Used to be my favorite book. My sister gave it to me as a gift when I was little. A night novel from Casimir's, huh? Mind lending it to me? Sure thing. Ah, so that's where the book on arts unit theory ended up. Sorry, Granny, this might take a while. I can bring it over to you later if you like. Don't worry, it's not urgent. Just means I can stay on Rhodes Island a bit longer this time. I'll just be over here reading to pass the time. I'm really sorry about this. The Last Night. The title is as pompous as it is cliche. There have probably been hundreds of books written about the Last Night, the Swiftest Night, or the Strongest Night. But seeing how the Radiant Knight gifted it to her own sister, surely there must be more to it than that. With that thought, Granny opens it up, only to find a bookmark wedged inside. Written in wobbly Casimir's... Casimirsian? I cannot friggin' speak. Written in wobbly Casimirsian letters is a line that may well have been copied from the book. If you deem the waves too raucous, you command the ocean to be still. Huh? Legend has it that the Last Night returned to Iberia. The enemies reflected in his eyes were not living creatures, but rather he charged at the mountains, the cities, and the waves. Legend has it that the Last Night settled by the coast, sustaining himself on the wind and taking shelter in the mist, until at last he forgot how to remove his helmet. Legend has it that the Last Night finally disappeared after clashing against the great waves. His family discovered what he'd left behind along the shore and brought it back to the land of Knights, burying it deep in the mountains. Well, this is talking about the Knight from the Knight's Treasure event. Talk about foreshadowing. Yeah. I forgot about that event. Man, that event was quite some time ago. I was like, why does this story sound familiar? And yeah, that would be why. I forgot about that event. Very old, yeah. Legend has it that his or her story was brought to light by a poet. Embellished, sung, given both meaning and symbolism, and in this form, they did finally return to the land of Knights. As a highly controversial figure. However, there are some who believe that the Mad Knight triumphed over the ocean, over time, over death itself, that his quest continues until the end of all things. What are you? The knight does not answer. His deathly gaze is fixed on Claudia. However, she quickly realizes that he is not actually looking at her. He stares only at the key in her hands. The knight opens his mouth as if to speak, but only a shriveled rasp comes forth, like the sound of muscle tearing. Begins to take a step forward. Where do you get that key? Oh, I didn't intend to pry into Rhodes Island's internal affairs. But that is Brioga's legacy, passed down through the hands of the four Farenmuts, to once again return to that abyssal hunter. By pure coincidence, one of the hunters found it in Casimir's. Casimir's? What a distant land. I still remember journeying with my mentor to receive an envoy from the land of knights, and secretly overhearing a few Silverlance campaign knights describing their ideals. I hear the country has changed considerably since then. For better or for worse, every political entity has undergone similar changes in our current era. That has nothing to do with Iberia. We're like ensnared beasts. Should we struggle, we suffer and bleed. Should we give up, our lives are forfeit. Before we unmask those still human traitors, I have a new question for you, Calcete. No doubt you've already realized this, but that child couldn't possibly be Briogan's descendant. The Inquisition would not have missed such a vital clue. So why would you still condemn him to a meaningless death? High Inquisitor. Their numbers are increasing, but none of them showed up until we reached the lighthouse. Sir, I found a way to open the main door. But the Eye of Iberia's core facilities are at the top of the tower, and it's very, very tall. The lift mechanism isn't working either, so we can only get up there by foot. High Inquisitor, we need more time. Take the Aegir with you. There is no time to spare, Irene. Right away. Wait, hold on. Oh, are they here? No, the lantern's flames are flickering. Something has stepped into my art's domain. They're scared. Strange. These things have never shown signs of fear before. Confusion, then? What could be the cause? The Inquisitor raises his lantern high, and the Sea Terror in turn retreats into the shadows of the reef. When he looks around once more, he notices the reef is littered with corroded and broken weapons, soaked with the fresh blood of monsters. Arms belonging to the Inquisition. As his mentor Carmen had said, it is not as if the Inquisition had never considered reclaiming the sole remaining lighthouse. Being unaffected by the profound silence, it's been quite well preserved. Even so, the Inquisition has never made a serious attempt to retrieve its own eye following the silence. This place used to be a spectacular overlook, a breathtaking, unobstructed view of the entire city, and had been manned by Iberians day in, day out. But you've taken it as a feeding ground, building a nest for your spawn without permission. Emotions. Long lost emotions. From soldier to inquisitor, and finally to one who sees the truth, he has been tempered, lost and reforged anew countless times. And thus, Dario became one of the few High Inquisitors in Iberia. Only a single word separates an Inquisitor from a High Inquisitor, but that single word is the difference between heaven and earth. He used to regard himself as resolute as steel. Before Iberia's enemies, his lantern would flicker, his saber would glimmer, and every line of the scriptures would be put into practice. But now, he feels a type of strong emotion welling up within him. One not solely a product of the law and justice that is preached. After acknowledging its rationality, High Inquisitor Dario accepts the fact that he is truly experiencing grief and anger His hand cannon takes aim at the sea terror, and his eyes are directed towards the sea. When you die, mankind may thrive. These words are not part of our laws or scriptures, but rather yours. Survival of the fittest. Right here. It's just as the records say, the lighthouse relies on power source located at its base, and the core column is divided into several areas. The console on this floor controls... Controls what? Signal recording. We should be able to put that to use later, but for now we need to prioritize powering the entire lighthouse. Let's continue. Hopefully all goes well until reinforcements arrive. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to do my best. What's wrong, Doña Irene? Make the N sound more like a Y. Okay. Okay, so maybe I wasn't too far off then. I'm the weirdo who, instead of taking Spanish like everyone else in this freaking country, I took Japanese and Hebrew. Because I'm a freaking weirdo. Okay, but thank you for letting me know. It's nothing, probably just my imagination. Maestro, the High Inquisitor is keeping guard outside. We'll be fine. Alright. After we restart the lighthouse's power system, we should be able to use the lift as well. That way the others will be able to catch up to us soon enough. So let's hurry. Was that intentional? Did something just kind of bug out a little bit with that sprite? There's something odd about him. Some kind of lingering scent. But what is it? Scent of another land. Nothing you'd be interested in. He is without a doubt a seaborn. Not as the same as Quintus. How is it possible for so many land creatures to become seaborn, though? They should have frequent contact with the ocean. How many have we seen become seaborn? Isn't this only the second one? What do you mean, so many? Or am I forgetting something here? Am I forgetting a key point? I could just be forgetting a key point somewhere. With no way to communicate, we can do nothing but let his body lose all function. He's about to attack. I don't know, picture Quintus. Okay, so the same here then. Okay, I'm glad I'm not crazy. The knight suddenly seems to vanish in place. For the senses of an abyssal hunter, catching him is hardly a challenge at all. With his speed, he opts not to attack them, but instead leaps high into the air and bounds towards the lighthouse. The ferocious roar. I'm not roaring. I'm sorry. I'm not. You can imagine it. What was that? Don't panic. Keep climbing. Complete our mission. Rekindle this lighthouse. Right. These vibrations. Are the walls coming under attack? How is that possible? We're already dozens of meters above the ground. The sea terrace has some sort of cannon. Or maybe some massive creature. But other than the tremor just now, I haven't noticed anything else. Not sure. The knight lifts his head and looks up. The lighthouse did not budge an inch. He shakes his twisted weapon disapprovingly. This long spear, once the creation of a master craftsman, is now inundated with the scent of the depths. He does not see the one standing in his way. The knight bends his knees again, intending to try once more. What are you doing? You contemptuously provoke Iberia, trespass upon restricted areas, and damage a precious heritage site. Just look at yourself. Do you even have a single shred of human-born dignity left in you? Dignity? Seems your vocal cords still work, at least. I don't know. You can make unintelligible sounds. I don't know. Let's see. Does it need good waves? Treble the sun and the pain. Things should not remain the same. The great tree takes root in this land. You stance your gray armor in that spear. You're from Casimir's. I am. Knights. Smothering steel. Ocean's waves. Lifting the lantern won't do anything. There's no sign of other ships coming. If Lursen Netherseed Brand ignores him, he may well be the source of the Sea Terror's panic. Then, is he actually a Seaborn disguised as a human? If you seek to destroy the Eye of Iberia, the Inquisition will not allow it. This soil. Now. Good evening, Mr. Knight. Where are the other two? The others? They're currently having a little chat with Mr. Knight's friends. So a fight broke out not too far away. Sounds like it's a clash of civilizations then. It has nothing to do with me, though. So I came over here. You're different from how you were back in Salviento. And also from how you were when we met in Grand Faro. You're always changing. The seawater is sobering. And the slightest breath of air brought in by the sea breeze. Although, I do want to return to the sea's embrace, but Scotty stopped me. My little Scotty. She's so scared. What of what? What's going on right now? I need Glaudia's explanation all the more. Spectre speaks in Nigerian. Mr. Knight, good sir. Return to your sweet slumber, deep in the abyss. We are not enemies. The knight ignores Laurentina, who murmurs as if singing. As for the enemy, who just dealt him a heavy blow, the knight only tilts his head slightly before quickly snapping his attention back toward the towering lighthouse. Alas, how tragic. Language can no longer reach your ears, just as those clouds cover your eyes. Even in your madness, does your will still drive you forward like clockwork, compelling your body to advance? Come then, Storm. Let us share this dance. I found it. The main control panel. How's it looking? I'm not too sure. This is more complicated than what's on the diagrams, and I've never actually operated these things before. That sound again. What's going on outside? Perhaps we're underestimating the dangers we might encounter here. At this rate, we're holding out for the panel battalion's technicians might be... No, even if reinforcements arrive, the sacrifice is required to repair the lighthouse. Under these conditions, we're akin to setting up camp under the crosshairs of a high-speed warship. Jordan, you're a civilian and part of Iberia. For now, I won't ask where you came from, or about what happened in Grand Pharaoh's past. We're in a race against time. Right now, this instant, try your best to get all the information out of the Eye of Iberia as you can. Maestro and I will protect this tower, and we... Alright, I've managed to retrieve the logs. This panel is still responding, and the energy module underneath the tower is still functional. You act fast. Commendable. What's next? How long would it take to reboot the entire lighthouse? I'll see what I can do. Even though I know the people out there are fighting against those sea monsters, I still have to say this. As long as the panel is still responding, it shouldn't be too hard to restart it. I've read about this in my notes that my parents left behind. But this would be my first time actually operating something like this, so it's still a bit of a gamble. Either way, it all takes time. We should probably... Hey. Guard this place, right? Don't look down. Keep moving forward.
Oh boy. Autodeploy is now available. I highly doubt that autodeploy is going to work. I doubt it.
Oh, we can see the lighthouse. Oh. The lighthouse caretaker's lodge. This small cottage still holds on to signs of life. When the calamity struck without warning, the guards stationed here were never heard from again. But now, more than 60 years later, there is still a guard staring out the window at the sea. His body has long since decayed, and his eye sockets are hollow. But duty is nevertheless duty. Let's go to the drawers. Upon opening the drawers, the keeper's belongings can be seen neatly stowed inside. By the looks of it, someone had fastidiously tidied the place. There's a broken dagger in the drawer, no doubt having seen a brutal fight. There's also half a pack of tobacco, but no matches to go along with it, which must have disappeared with the original owner. There are also a few arts units in here that have fallen apart, with signs of having been repaired as much as possible. Additionally, there is a photo, effaced by the passage of time, that is now completely unidentifiable. A small communication terminal is located here. The knob that adjusts its frequency band worn shiny smooth. There are still a few pieces of weathered jerky of unclear origin. Room to the drawers further? No, they can't. Okay. Well, I shouldn't have clicked that again. I'm just supposed to go through the diary now. There we go. Okay, we'll flip to the diary. This diary records the years that the lighthouse keepers spent here. One day, the silent waves swept through everything, and they found themselves trapped here in the middle of the ocean. At first, there was fear and panic. Then there was an attempt to escape. Finally, they accepted their fate. Even when dignity, civilization, and all that humans are meant to rely on are cast aside, it is not all that difficult to survive. Whenever one falls in their duties, they become nutrients for another to continue the vigil. The text on the last page of the diary is smudged with water, now barely legible. All that we do, even sin and blasphemy, is not for the sake of our ultimate victory. It is for the hope that our defeat will be slightly delayed. And that is all. Corridor to control room. This is the lighthouse the Elder spoke of, the Eye of Iberia in Geordie's dreams. These corridors, stairs, and panels may once have been tread upon and touched by his parents. Jordy tries to feel an aura of familiarity from them. Countless times he has sketched his parents' likeness from his imagination, the way they would shuttle between lighthouses. Those few notes left behind correspond to reality, line by line. Perhaps their bones are still interred somewhere in this lighthouse. The thought makes Jordy shudder. He now stands at the same place, his hand covering the same control panel. Where, then? Will the fate take him? Jordy decides not to think about these things. He must accomplish his duties, irrespective of his identity, his worth, or his beliefs. Jordy stands here for the sake of his unrealistic dreams, and though he may be anxious and uncertain, the one thing he is not is lost. Here we go! Maybe. Jordy! Hey, look at that, I got 200 unique operators now.
You're the doctor. Pleased to meet you. My code name is Lumen, and I will now be serving as a Rhodes Island operator. Even if I can only bring you a thin filament of light, I will give all my strength.
I have a fish. Indeed, I will take a fish. He's pretty neat. I don't know actually what he does, but I believe I can purchase one of these. Yay! Wandering medic. Ooh, okay, so okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. This? Okay, hold on. Now time to go figure out which one it is. Give me a minute. Confused the two? Okay. Let's check him out anyway. Yoink. It's like Whispering, just better in every way. Good to know. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say so? Oh, okay. Let's see, what do we got? Healing targets gain status resistance for 2 seconds. If the target's HP is above 75%, they gain status resistance for 4 seconds instead. Second skill is Restore HP equal to 120% attack to 2 allies within range, and it can be charged. Oh. Remove negative statuses from targets. Oh. Whispering does a better job at healing HP. Okay, I think that's probably fair. Let's see, what does this one just do? Receive healing equal to 25% of Lumen's attack every second for 3 seconds. Okay. So yeah, maybe not the strongest healer, but the fact that it's every single attack regardless of skill, you don't have to wait for either an unlimited duration or just I think it's technically counted as an offensive charge up or something like that, right? Hold on, let me find Whispering. Where is she? Did I pass by her? I may have. There she is. Yeah, offensive recovery. So yeah, he doesn't have to wait for a skill to go and grant status resistance. And he can also outright clear a status, yeah. I unfortunately just spent all of my mats on going and upgrading Irene. So, all the therapists got their modules. Ooh. Okay, I'll have to check them out. Also, I do have enough to go and do headhunting. Should we do that now or should we do it later? It could be a way to end the stream. Later? Alright. We'll do it later. 84%. Not too much more. That's what I expected. Okay, if I look at this, does it show me? No, it does not. Well. Why do I feel like the brand is going to start like right here? There's going to be one right here. There's going to be one right here. That's how the brand is going to go. This brand's module reduces her taunt level and gives her self status resistance. Ooh. Okay, maybe I'll have to go and invest in some, Lumen also has the same module. I mean, all modules are pretty similar across subclasses, right? They aren't exactly the same, but they're pretty darn similar, right? Can't wait any longer? What Cal Seat said was true. That none of us really can afford to wait around. Even while we walk this land, we are still a part of the sea. These corrupted descendants are in the process of changing the environment. Some get different ones based off kits. In time, none of us will be spared. All we're doing now is sitting around waiting for the end to come. We're not the only ones sitting around, though. And everyone's reasons are different. Think about it more broadly. Who knows? Maybe these lands aren't suited for our survival. Frost rifts in agreement. Not harmonious enough. Just something I want to try. Time to mix it up, all for the tunes. She riffs in agreement again. I seriously have yet to, like, imagine in my mind what riffing in agreement really sounds like. I genuinely have no clue. I can't think of it. So what exactly do you have in mind? Well, we're not exactly accomplishing much over here. Just treat it as a little pre-concert workout. Don't sum too far out, Frost. A workout, huh? What about the rest of you? I think I'll pass. Too lazy. I can feel the inspiration on its way. It's so close. Just a little bit more. Alright. I'll be off then. No. What did that woman in the Inquisitor do? How could they so easily erase the gift of the sea? Aegir. It must have been the Aegir. The Aegir left behind. Those strange machines. They must be destroyed. That's right, my brother. The Fennel battalion has been placed surrounded. We failed to break through. Well, we've nowhere to run. Our exalted prophet has returned to the sea. All that's left is to pave the way for her. They seem to hold back the tide, and the dash against the rocks. My life is one break in a lengthy road. Ooh, a little bit of head rush. Hello, oxygen. Don't panic, it's just me. Why haven't you taken refuge yet? Mayor Thiago, I was drunk out cold as a gloom blizzard, so I didn't hear anything. By the time I woke up, everything had gone to shit, and these disgusting things were all over the place. What happened here? Has the Inquisition said anyone know? What's going to happen to us? The Great Ocean is not guilty of any crime, but the Inquisition does not agree. They control the so-called law and have condemned us as sinners. Soon enough, the sea terrors will return to the ocean, but we cannot allow the Inquisitors to condemn Grim Pharaoh to death just like that. What are you talking about? Have you gone mad? Mad? I'm the one who's mad. I simply need to know. What can we do before the Inquisition destroys this town and rounds us all up to stand trial?
Inquisitor has already arrived. I saw that clearly when hiding in a little alley. Never seen one that old before, and they gave me chills.
What are you going to do then, Thiago? Go up with them and try and reason with them?
Nothing choose sides again, right? When the Aegir were taken away, most people looked on, just like that. They had a chance to stand up for them, but nobody stepped forward.
Thiago, you
have another chance. Either watch the Inquisition put everyone in Grand Pharaoh on trial, or...
Have you lost your marbles? Inquisitor, hey Inquisitor, he can handle us all without raising a hand.
Take me to them.
What are you talking about?
Drop the act. How long do you think I've lived in this town?
Alright, follow me. Your goal is truly to take revenge on the Inquisitors. Just what are you up to, Mayor Thiago?
Pure Streams module removes the healing reduction for distant targets. I'm assuming Luvins will eventually get this one too. Get a module that gives him an SP recovery after clearing status. Oh, that could be it. Of course, this came out after Chapter 10. So I just spent all of my healing stuff on Honeyberry when I could have spent it on Lumen. It's fine, whatever. Oh well, it is what it is. It's not like I only have a limited amount of time to go and like level him up. He would work better here than Lumen, honestly. Yeah, but like, look at him. He's pretty. This handsome man. At the time, that's how I choose my team. I won't argue with that. Yeah, exactly.
Almost there. This is already taking too long. Sorry. It's not your fault. It's mine for not having enough patience. Junior Inquisitor, if you're worried about the others, you can go and help them. I think I can handle things up here. The High Inquisitor gave me an order to protect you. As you've seen, those monsters are everywhere. I can't just leave you alone. But I don't want to be what's holding you back from joining the battle. As long as you can light up this tower, then the High Inquisitor will have made the correct decision. I simply defer to his judgment. I understand. Did your knowledge of the Eye of Iberia come from your parents? Yes, or more precisely, it's the sum of all of Grand Pyro's past. They gathered the best lighthouse engineers in all of Iberia. Or at least that's what my uncle told me. The territory used to be demarcated by the Inquisition, until it was abandoned, after a string of incidents involving the Aegir and the Church of the Deep. I'm not trying to reopen old wounds, but I've been thinking. Before I left, I read the dossier. Dossier?
I feel like I know this word, but my brain's not working with it. It's like dossier or something like that? I don't know. My brain's not working with English. Technically English. English, that's actually just words stolen from other languages that count as English.
Before I left, I read the dossier, but...
I don't know. My brain's not working. Hold on. I need to look up that word. What in the world is that word? I know what it is, but I can't think of how it's pronounced. I know it's French, which, I mean, makes sense, because... I don't know, roots and stuff like that. That's just... I don't know how to describe it. I just know that it's French because I don't know, I know the word. Oh, so I was pronouncing it correctly. Okay, cool.
Before I left, I read the dossier about descendants handed down at the time. No, never mind. Do you hate the Inquisition?
To be honest, if there's anything that always hangs over the heads of the people back home, other than the ubiquitous dark clouds, it would be the word Inquisition. The town once glimmered, giving us the confidence to rebuild our homes. The workers and engineers gave everything they had to fight the disaster. The Inquisition took everything before it even struck.
Do you still believe that today?
This is the place I grew up in. Everything I've ever seen or heard has only reinforced this lesson. And, I'm sorry, ma'am.
We're simply stating your lived experiences, citizen. It is your actions that will prove your loyalty to Iberia. Still, I'm astonished you had the guts to say all that in front of an Inquisitor.
I mean, you asked. Though, I guess some people would still be afraid to say the truth. I don't know. I never would have dared. Not until I came here. But then I saw the eye. For the longest time, it's only appeared in my dreams. Nothing more than a sculpture sitting in the plaza. Everyone in Grand Pharaoh who came before me has passed us all down. Our duty, what we must do. It's all surging through me right now. Ma'am, do you see something glittering at the base of the lighthouse? Something blue and sparkling like stars. That's another sea brand.
Do you really think you can fight me, Mr. Knight? You only care about the lighthouse. Why? Why do you cling to it so?
Monstrous waves, swallowing the sky. Even the stalk of wheat, consumed by silence. All things great and small, return to nothing.
He can speak, but not command his kin. The sea terrors are in disarray. Let us put an end to this. What a surprise, Mr. Knight. You're not moving like you were before.
Those are human moments. A charging wind-up, unique to Arknights. What exactly are you? The knight continues to ignore his two opponents. His attention is solely on the third. Even with his attack, the towering lighthouse does not even shake. If even the profound silence failed to destroy the eye, what chance does a lone knight have? It bewilders him. It pushes him to try even harder. Clouds, rolling hills, pillars of ash, parade across the hotbed of decay. The tides, unending. You're injured and the sea terrors are drawn to you.
So it appears. You're a little scratched up on accident.
Step aside. You're no longer fit to fight. Dario's eyes quickly dart across the abyssal hunter in front of him. Her movements had paused unnaturally a few times during the previous clash. He's heard reports about her. She was involved with Salviento and experiments. But the woman who stands before him is completely different from the one who emerged from that fierce battle. Who was she? And who is she now? They've hardly touched you, and you seem barely able to stand. Maybe an illness you contracted in Salviento.
So to the sea is rather intoxicating. That's all.
Wait. Comrade. Why? Why must you gag on the air and endure the heat? You will never taste the fruits of civilization. Ugh. The ground is shaking. Energy long lost floods through the pipelines and into the broken body of the Eye of Iberia, prying open its eyelids. It has awakened. The entire island whispers the groans of its first light. Slowly it shakes off its winter, as if waking from centuries of hibernation. The cycle of all existence does not belong to the sea. The knight lifts its head, gazing up from the shadow beneath the great lighthouse. He is perplexed. It's not the monstrous waves. Where are they? Without drawing a single breath, as naturally as a shadow slants in the direction of the light, Spectre brings down her weapon. The humanoid but the humanoid seaborn in front of her avoids it, with logic-defying explosive force. In midair, the knight looks far out into the distance. He is listening for the coming of new waves, and he will break them. Yashan. Yeah. Not. Oh! It's a seahorse in the most literal definition. Okay. I will say, I didn't expect that one. That caught me a little bit by surprise. I wasn't exactly expecting a literal seahorse. Horse of the sea. Jeez.
Turns out, Mr. Knight is afraid of the light.
Don't pursue him. He's not the only seaborn like that out there. Our only duty is to defend this lighthouse.
He's only lost interest in the lighthouse.
I don't care about the motivations of monsters.
And you say, I'm also a monster.
You? You are undergoing a transformation. I don't know whether this is something that happens with every Abyssal Hunter. But if necessary, this reef will be the last bit of land you ever step on.
You would still call this land. We're clearly surrounded by ocean.
Disasters change coastlines, not national boundaries. Every last centimeter of land swallowed by the profound silence is still subject to the laws of Iberia.
Laws. A virtuous word. And not all creatures recognize this virtue.
Ready your blade. Just a little bit more.
Hurry up then. If this drags on any longer, the lighthouse will be swallowed up by the Netherseas brand.
Ran into a little bit of a hitch. One of the auxiliary structures might have been damaged, but that would take too much time to investigate.
Booting up the core facility will suffice. We still have to retrieve the flagship's coordinates, ideally re-establishing a connection with the line running along the coast.
I know.
But those things might even be higher up. Then keep going, hurry!
No. I have to stay here. Turning on the lighthouse is as simple as pulling the most conspicuous lever. But I need to stay here and oversee the power system rebooting. You should go, ma'am.
What? What if you're attacked by a sea tower that slipped in the net? We'll all... I know. I don't want to come up one step short. Not now. Those monsters, they only lash out against humans because we invaded their nest, right? If that's the case, they won't keep destroying the facilities. If anything, getting into the fight will only make things more dangerous. Should we keep climbing instead? Conspicuous lever, right? Yeah, it should be obvious. Flip that, and at least the main facilities, including the lighting equipment, will start up again. Assuming what the log said is correct. Alright. I'll be right back, Jordy. The console? Well, this is it.
Nothing on the outside is visible from within the tower.
Could the Stultifera really not have sunk? How are they supposed to find that great dreadnought? Is it too late for the Penal Battalion to come to their aid? Are the cultists of Grand Pharaoh hiding even more secrets?
Just by pulling down on lever in her hand, all of these questions would be answered. Irene should have been conflicted. She had accepted too much, learned much of the sea, and seen it all with her own eyes.
Now's the time. I hope you're ready, Irene.
Dazzling light penetrates the ocean, piercing through everything. The light will lead the way. The light can dispel the darkness.
It worked. Hey, Jordy, did you see that? We did it.
I didn't think you had it in you to appreciate this sculpture.
I have Iberia, the offspring of the marriage between Aegir and Iberian technology. On land, each nomadic city can only seamlessly communicate within its own walls. Between cities, however, it's like crossing a moat.
No system of communication can resolve the interference caused by originium-rich zones. The only solution is to set up base stations that are at constant risk of being destroyed by catastrophes. I hear some countries have already adopted the technology of mobile base stations that navigate on a fixed route between cities. Their engineers are no different from those who guard our lighthouses. Even today, humans still stumble across great land, blindly grasping for clues. We must still grope our way across Terra in near total darkness. Port of the ocean.
There's no originium in the ocean. The Aegir's communication technology vastly surpasses anything we have on land. The Eye of Iberia is not just a set of lighthouses.
It is, of course, Iberia's vision. Very few people know that it was left to us by Briogan, as a microphone to connect all of Iberia.
It's been a while, sir.
Your work was invaluable in allowing the Inquisition to respond so quickly to Dame Calcine's proposal. How about you? Have you enjoyed your time in Grand Pharaoh?
Compared to the other cities where our colleagues lay dormant, this place can hardly be considered dangerous.
So, what have you found here?
My sincere apologies, sir. I doubt I know much more than you and the Dame. The order given to me by the High Inquisitor was to monitor Grand Pharaoh for more potential enemies. Those who would violate our laws and desecrate our country. My conclusion being, no, not for the time being.
When the church's cultists appeared, you didn't notify your team in time.
Correct. I determined those cultists to be impotent, and took advantage of the Penal Battalion's withdrawals as a prime opportunity to go after the true mastermind.
And did you find them? Are there more false bishops presiding over the sea's invasion on the land?
Without conquering evidence, I can only speculate as to who their leader is. But Mayor Thiago, a worker from Iberian hinterlands, is nominally the mayor of this town. Since the Eye of Iberia project was scrapped and the Inquisition made quick work of the traitors in Grand Pharaoh, it's been no secret that he has been appointed critic of the Inquisition.
Thiago, one of Grand Pharaoh's laborers, sheltering the cultists. Seemed we would have our next target, Dame Calcite.
There's one other thing. Lord Carmen, the Pedal Battalion seems to have come under attack.
What? They invested in Tercio. Pisquatch. Excuse me. Pisquatch evil in Grand Pharaoh, to the point that it's a rare luxury to even see a single badge. What could they go up against?
Another sea brand has seeped to the ground, to the surface, drawing a circle roughly 15 kilometers around Grand Pharaoh. And it's a perfect circle, almost as if it was drawn with the compass. It's not the town that's been surrounded, though. It's us.
Hmm. Okay. Let's take back the lighthouse. Hopefully this works. I know it's not going to, but... What are you? Spawns nether sea brand at its location when defeated. Increased res. It's very close to what I guessed. I guessed it would be there and there. Turns out it's not. Nothing like setting that causes issues. I can already tell I'm not going to like this guy. Oh, there is one there. Gosh dang it. Okay. It's hard, by the way. Lovely. Um... Silence does prevent it from dropping tiles on data. Ooh, okay. Good to know. Okay, so I then won't focus on these guys because I gotta go through. I will have to go and work on these guys.
My sword will respawn the instant I spot you.
Fortunately, they are not getting silenced. And I will be doing this. What up? How you doing? Okay, gotta be careful. Okay, silenced. Good, 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 good. I can appreciate that. Go and do something like this, aren't I? I don't know which one is... Can you not for 2 seconds?
One step backwards.
Of course. Ah, it spawned it. They were not silenced. Fudge, 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 fudge. Please cancel. That really doesn't do too much, does it? Well, no longer really need to worry about silencing them. Oh, you little... Okay. That way, I guess? I don't know. Tried to jump by the last few streams, but it's always been busy. It's all good, don't worry about it. Pretty sure they have 95 resistance? Dang. Okay. Well, they're still taking decent enough damage, and I got other people already out and about, so... You are not regenerating, you are outside the range. Something absurdly high. Okay, well... At the very least, they don't have dodge, and I am okay with that. Well, my plans failed spectacularly, but... it worked. A win is a win, indeed, indeed, indeed. I don't like that their heads are not currently being shown. It do be kind of sus. I'm sorry, I cringed internally while saying that.
We're almost at our destination. What? You never would have reached Stultifera in one piece without me. The children of the sea would have ripped you apart, crushed you, or bound your limbs as they dragged you off into their nests.
You're not like Quintus.
What might you be talking about? My skin? This sack of flesh? None of that matters.
What are you trying to accomplish?
What are you trying to accomplish, Hunter? Your kind already loathe your enemies while simultaneously doubting the purity of your own blood. But still, you pretend to be calm. What are you trying to get out of me? Silence, a wise choice. Aegir are not a sociable lot, it is now. It seems there are exceptions. Or are you just a bit of an unpopular grump? I can answer your question. Quintus wouldn't, nor will the other humans. The Seaborn will. Like heralds, we come to understand things. We're not limited by the way humans think.
I don't need your riddles.
Before coming here, I was in the midst of translating a literary classic from Ursus. It was about race and nations, about history. I was putting it into Iberian and Victorian. Take a look, Mr. Hunter.
Opianus's gaze follows the woman's hand, his eyes subconsciously drawn towards the ocean. A pitch black sea, dense with dark clouds, oppressive, and yet a vague outline of starry sky is visible.
Even the Aegir rarely look out across the ocean from water's surface. Different races, different countries. The land is fractured in every sense, and its conflicts are never ending. When you look out over the boundless sea, do you see anything representing those divides? These damn monsters! Jordy, are you alright?
He's Aegir, so they shouldn't be particularly interested in him? Because they're specifically interested in the Abyssal Hunters because they have special blood, right? Not Aegir as a whole. Get away from me. Never mind, I stand corrected. All right. Seems like activating this facility has made these poor creatures realize that this place doesn't make a very good nest.
High Inquisitor.
Keep ascending, Aegir. Your hands are for wielding tools, not fire and steel. The plan is unchanged. Go with Irene and find out what the Inquisition and the Hunters are seeking.
I know. Please be careful. Do you really think we can find that ship? We can only pass through Iberia. I don't understand. What is a place like Rhodes Island? Why hasn't it tried to return in 60 years? We too are lost. Unable to find a way back home. Is that not so? The children are increasing in number. Are you alright? Me? Why do you ask? You didn't speak a single word on the way to Iberia. Have you always seen me as a chatterbox, Scotty?
Scotty stares deeply into Spectre's eyes. When she'd finally found Laurentino on land, her eyes were clouded over. Then she saw it in Salviento, a fragment of Laurentina as she was. but it was short-lived. After returning to Rhode Island, she seemed to have fallen back into the abyss. That line alone wrote many stories? But now Scotty begins to find herself unable to distinguish which corner of Spectre's mind she is currently dealing with. She has an ominous guess. One that has always swirled through her mind. What's the matter? No need to overthink this, Scotty. The same goes for you, my sleepy little mermaid. You don't have much time. You will awaken. Will I? You will. For the time being, go with Shark and take out the small fry. Your numbers are endless, so remember to adjust your breathing and conserve energy. You should already know that I prefer it that way. Must we be in such a hurry to perform again? The storm is not yet ready. Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. Not in that one specific instance, but that line in no way, shape, or form related. Okay. So, yeah, it's fine, whatever. That's fairly tame in the grand scheme of things.
But it seems our dance partner won't be kept waiting. There's no end to them. Oh yeah, Irene. You're still alive. So that flash of light was from the High Inquisitor's lantern after all. He wanted us to continue on. But what exactly should we do? Keep searching for the ship's location? I was originally planning to wait for the technicians to arrive, but seeing how you got this big fella started all by yourself. Make every second count.
Iago, finally seeing clearly. Why haven't you fled? The Battle Battalion and that Inquisitor have been lying in ambush in town. The Battle Battalion and that Inquisitor have been lying in ambush in this town. Why haven't you proud townspeople returned? The Inquisitors have already taken away all the confused, directionless residents of Grand Pharaoh, and you already know what's going to happen to them. You know all too well. But I can't sit by and watch Grand Pharaoh go up in smoke. I have to do whatever I can. You? Fight the Inquisition? Fair enough, Iago. But that will only hasten the town's demise. Iberia will never tolerate an act of treason. While we welcome all into our fold, but the weak do not have that right. This determination of yours is but a sick joke your mind is playing on you. You understand nothing. Who do you think you're talking to?
That's been in trouble, so that's all good, don't worry.
Who? If I cared enough to investigate, you would have been flushed out by the Penal Battalion long ago. What should people like you offer Grand Pharaoh? In the end, this town is a mere human settlement. What we seek to offer up of this land is of a much higher calling than your meaningless baubles. You've been followed.
You see, Terras have pretty sharp senses.
An outsider. We will allow it. Your flesh and blood shall become nourishment for our wounded. We all give back to this land.
You notice see Brand was nearly reached this far. The walls, the stairs, it's all over the place. Are you still not done yet? You're getting closer. Almost there. How does this make any sense? Even after all these years, the signal receiving devices are still operable. But why? How? Oh, the logs. There it is. Now let's take a look. The numbers are exploding. They're moving through the Nethersea brand, as if they've merged with the ground entirely. At this rate, even Maestro and the hunters will be able to stay in this branded place for much longer. David, underneath us, Jordy! What? Continue. Okay. Missile hunters. You're too weak. Souls like this require swifter movements. Spare yourself the energy to breathe. Like so. How much longer, Ager? There are no records of in the logs of how to operate these information terminals, so I'll have to keep searching. There's some data here. I don't understand what it means, but it keeps popping up. Keeps popping up. Even if that's from the Inquisition's last attempt, it should have been years ago. I'm not sure. I think the data loss was caused by a powder outage, but if my hypothesis is right, there's a ship that's been sending signals to this lighthouse for decades. What? How far away is it? I know, I'm looking. Where are the navigation records? What is it? It's very close. How can it be so close? What happened? I'm afraid the underground portion of the tower has been swallowed up by the Nethersea brand. We need to make our decision now. Decision? What decision? We have the means to locate the ship, then we will go. No, we should eradicate the sea terrors to ensure that the pedal battalions and reinforcements can arrive safely. Impossible. You will merely wear yourselves out before the stronger prey can even join the hunt. What do you mean to say that Iberia has hundreds upon thousands of people willing to hold the line to their dying breath, like the High Inquisitor below us? No, but opportunity awaits for no one. Have you confirmed the coordinates? I can determine the approximate range. I don't know why it's spinning around, or if that means it's being kept afloat by aberrant ocean currents. See that square surrounded by seaboard? That's what the ship looks like now. But that ship is the only vessel we have. You can have it. We don't need it.
No. Go with them.
High Inquisitor, what did you just say?
The Eye of Iberia has already been activated. There should still be some working safeguards in place. Lord Common will arrive to purge the evil remaining among these shores. We don't have time to waste on these endless hordes.
Then I'll stay with you, sir.
No. You ought to accompany them. You should go see the ocean. What saved your life? What let the rescuers find you? It wasn't me. It was the scriptures you hold in your hand. Make the right choice. Do not bring shame to Iberia.
Understood, High Inquisitor. I will become Iberia's eyes and return the Stultifera to our country's embrace.
Then go. I look forward to seeing the moment you pass down the correct verdict.
Yes, High Inquisitor.
You should leave too. Go with them.
Sir, I don't want to. I want to stay here.
It's too dangerous.
I don't know a single thing about that golden vessel. The best I could do is bask in its magnificence. But I don't think that's where my duty lies. This might be a strange thing to say, but I only felt my own worth when I was exploring this lighthouse, so please, let me stay here. Exactly 100 down. Nothing has changed. You're like stars in the sky. Breaking the encirclement would be simple, but defending the lighthouse? How long would we be sloshing away? What fine, colorful carpet they make as their carcasses dissolve. The carpet of life. Ah, this must be the most beautiful carpet in the land. True, another sea brand is spreading, which means...
Your weapons cannot burn them, but mine can.
That's only a temporary solution. Cauterizing the tips of seagrass won't stop it from growing.
It's good enough. Grab your people and get out of here. Steer the ship out or you won't be able to get your bearings.
You realize what that means.
You don't need to tell me, Aegir.
Very well. Do your best to survive, High Inquisitor. Shark, Scotty. That's the ship. Yes. After so long spent waiting on land, we are finally about to return to Aegir.
Claudia's words slow to a halt.
Her hand caresses her neck.
On her well-concealed skin is a patch that is rough to touch.
Ooh, I like this art.
The ship is right in front of her eyes. No, don't be hasty, Claudia. The ocean is still dangerous, otherwise it would not have trapped the 3 hunters ashore. But without a doubt, her heart is smoldering.
They've left.
That's right. Which means we're stranded here until the Penal Battalion's reinforcements arrive. You've done well, Aegir. You've earned the right to answer a question.
Okay. I swear to answer truthfully.
Did you make your own decision to leave the shore and come here with us? You're just an ordinary person, janitor or whatever. You are no warrior. If you can wander out to sea, let alone witness a battle against the sea terrors. Yet, look, your expression doesn't shake at all under the light of my lantern. What are you thinking? What do you want?
I can't even remember ever seeing my mother or father. Everyone always told me I'm an Aegir, and that we came to repair the lighthouse. It's all ruined. Before all this, I didn't know a single thing. I was lost and confused. To be honest, when the sea terrors came, someone told me to leave as soon as possible, but truthfully, I didn't even know where I could go. Because I'm an Aegir. All I could do was keep my head down as I trudged through life. And, just so you know, I'm actually a chapel nurse, not a janitor. That doesn't really count as work, does it? All the things Mr. Elysium talks about, the way he acts, maybe that's what it really means to live life upon this land. That's why I felt like this was an opportunity.
Are you not afraid of death?
I don't think there's anyone who isn't, sir.
I should be frank with you. Another sea brand has already completely engulfed the coastline. We don't have much time left. Carmen and Dr. Calceat may have their methods, but I'm not so optimistic. When the others left, we were basically condemned to death.
Is that why you insisted on me going with them?
It's too late to regret it now. You chose to defy me of your own free will. But even if you die here, your death would by no means be meaningless. You were not shaken.
Just a little bit, maybe. But even if I went with them, wouldn't I still have 9-to-1 odds of dying? As long as I stay here in this lighthouse, I can at least feel like I've already...
Don't be in such a hurry to give up. The Eye of Iberia should have its own defenses. Go start them up.
Alright, but where will you go?
Now, we are alone at sea, far from our homeland. Again and again we rely on this little reef. The weight of our lives and our vessels so much heavier than the place itself. Between the ocean and Iberia, there's no such thing as justice or evil. Only sword and lantern. Only me.
Oh boy.
87%. Are these last three the last ones at Grand Pharaoh? In a half-open safe sits an outdated nautical chart, once used by the old Iberian fleet to conquer the seas. The crystallization of their explorations through the mist. Unfortunately, it is now nothing more than scrap paper. A few other miscellaneous items also sit at the bottom of the safe, with nobody left to use them. So what do? We take their stairs. Their entire stairs. You say you're not using those? Fine, they're mine now. Let me just... yoink. Don't mind me, just gonna take your stairs. What is this? Oh, is this for, Handy Buddy or whatever he is? Handy Helper? Is it Handy Helper? I don't remember. Open the cabinet's swaying doors, and a complex-looking device can be found resting inside. A thin line of Agirian text reads along the side reads, Housekeeping Assistant Module. It seems to fit into one of the slots on Little Handy. That's what it is. Little Handy. It appears to have been carefully stashed here at some point. Where did it come from? Contains a total of 500 rusted compasses. Okay, so we aren't there yet. So we got the manual, but we don't have it yet. And that's going to be this one right here, it looks like. Oh, we can now go to the Lost Flagship. I see. Okay. So that is pretty much the end of Grand Pharaoh. Okay. So this is the boat, huh? I can't... Okay, so I can't, like, view the whole boat just yet. Let's see. I really wish these two were kind of swapped. I could really go for our melee guys having 80% extra HP. But, oh well. Stultifera, Navis. Module enables Little Handy to remove the Nether Sea brand or bounce from walls. Ooh. Okay. When disaster struck, both the great flagship Stultifera, Navis, the ship of fools, and the Iberian fleet to which it belonged were out at sea. Giant waves swallowed everything, but the ghosts of the past still lingered. Assuming we're going to be seeing a lot more battles now. Now that we've gotten that little, like, the start out of the way. Assuming now we're going to start seeing a lot more battles. Berrigan was the owner of that key. During Iberia's Golden Age, he became a guest of honor to the aristocrats and nobility. He was once seen as the symbol of budding harmony between the Aegir Islanders and Iberians. Nobody knows what he was doing right before the disaster, or what he lacked the time to do. But he had already left behind a significant legacy. You miss his monologue. And for you, significant directions. Regardless, he is part of the past. I have no doubt you will be the ones to make the choice here in the present. As for the key, the question of why Berrigan's key was left in Casimir's is one we do not need answered. It was found by the hunter, Scotty. This was no coincidence, but rather an inevitability. You have a natural sensitivity towards the sea. Again, going back to the Knight's treasure. Now I have a reason. Now we have a reason as to why specifically Scotty was there and so freaking interested in what was behind that freaking mountain Or within the mountain, not behind the mountain.
Indeed, I handed the key to that band. You will learn what they truly are. Perhaps the Aegir will need to enlist their help. They're also searching for answers. Most of them are young, uncomfortable with the ocean's changes. After all, they cannot truly leave the place of their birth. Yes, I hope we'll succeed. Humanity faces too many problems, and the layers upon layers of disasters can easily extinguish the light of our current civilization. Claudia, if you wish to act alone, I won't try to dissuade you. Scotty is just like you. Perhaps all the hunters are. But whatever you do, don't think you can solve all of this land's problems by yourself. Let's go away. I won't answer any of your questions. Ishar Law? Where did you hear that name?
Ooh, there's some very heavy bass going on here. Hello. Weird. I don't think I've ever heard this bass with this sound before. I think it has to do with specifically this bit of the story, this specific cutscene. Oh, it just cut out. Yeah, there it goes. Weird.
We're almost there. But the ocean is just too vast. Even slight inaccuracies in the coordinates can lead to huge errors. It's so much calmer than I imagined. More than calm. Since leaving the lighthouse, we've actually faced fewer and fewer attacks. Not even the wind or waves are stirring. But what did it mean? It means... Are you nervous, my poor little bird? Why did you stand where I can see you? Who are you calling nervous anyway? It's just very, very few people manage to make it out this far in the ocean, so I can't be sure that... Hey.
Oh, base is back.
Hey. Your eyes are drawn back to over your shoulder, not to the horizon. You fear loss more than the unknown. Your superior gave us a chance so you could still board the Stultifera. So you could board the Stultifera and to reach out to the Aegir, not for you to wallow indecisively. I know that. Before the fight comes to us, you must... Hey, do you smell that shark? Of course. Keep this coast little boat slightly to the right, and soon we'll be able to see the bigger boat. It's long since become yet another nest, though. Do we really intend to dive right in? Do you need to rest, Spectre? Me? There's something wrong with me? Why would you ask that? Your hand is shaking.
Spectre looks down at her hand. The one not wielding a weapon is indeed trembling slightly in the sea breeze. Her consciousness gradually clears up and plunges into the deep abyss. Untouchable.
Is this anxiety? Or excitement? But why?
Claudia reaches out and gently holds Spectre's hand, with Scotty following in suit. The three abyssal hunters share a moment of silence.
Welcome home, hunters.
Claudia solemnly steps onto the ship's bow. The sea breeze cleaves a path through the night, carrying upon it a familiar scent. The quiet vessel sleeps soundly atop the ocean. It is a vassal of the sea breeze, the quest of an era. Idealism was ubiquitous in that era, and it reflected the people's spirit of exploration, as well as their arrogance. Scotty and Claudia gazed wordlessly at the ship. In an instant, they are inundated with a flood of thoughts. But in the end, they are invariably dragged back into the past. Their youth, their home, the rhythmic swaying of the ship. Only Spectre continues to grip tightly onto the weapon in her hand, the sea breeze picking up slightly. This breeze will carry the hunters home.
Monster, burn them.
True damage, baby!
Lord Carmen, we can't afford to stay here much longer. The team of hunters is in danger.
The Battle Battalion is being held back, since I have underestimated the extent of the Church of the Deep's taint.
Hello, welcome.
We should have cleared a temporary fort base at Grand Pharaoh to continue the pursuit.
We didn't have a choice.
If we have no way of securing the town, then we'll be under attack from both sides.
An Iberian Tercio consists of at least 10 companies, approximately 3,000 people. The officers of the Panel Battalion are more than sufficient to lead them to victory.
You seem quite knowledgeable about this.
We've crossed paths more than once.
Are you suggesting we let the Panel Battalion head in Grand Pharaoh, and head straight to the Eye of Iberia? I wouldn't be opposed to that proposal. We'll be dealing with Victoria's fleet.
Otherwise, our losses will be even greater.
I can't make guitar sounds with my face. I'm sorry, Frost, but I can't. You're gonna have to speak.
Miss Frost, why are you? I'll warm up workout, she said. We come from the sea. We are the sea. However,
She riffs dejectedly.
The language is too strong. We cannot withstand it. If you're here to help, that would be ideal. What can you offer?
I can make them listen. Listen to my song.
And your companions?
Apologies in advance, but Don wants to borrow that chapel. The others are in there thinking of new songs.
Music. Your melodies are considerably different from what I used to hear in Lithuanian. Are you sure they'll be interested in this sort of thing?
Frost riffs tersely. The meaning of life is music. I just want to clean up the venue before the show starts.
Frost slowly pulls out her guitar. Where was it before if she was riffing? What was she riffing with if her guitar was put away? Am I misunderstanding something? Does riffing not mean what I think it means? I thought riffing was like... Better don't ask? Okay. As I said, she's too powerful. Carmen cannot help but be surprised. You can tell that the organism in front of him is truly, genuinely thinking about music. Her words contain no superfluous, excuse me. That's a word, superfluous intentions. It is by no means a metaphor. Use the words as such and Frost's attention will quickly wander. She only thinks about music. Only this form of art, capable of stimulating her soul, can hold her attention. She riffs experimentally. The lurking sea terrors circle around her, observing, examining, judging. They dare not wantonly approach her. They smell a familiar scent. They realize that the guitarist in front of them is a hollow vessel. Her distant connection resonates through the depths bestowed to them as their birthright. Even on land, they instantly feel as if they become one with the sea.
Oh, miraculous. These creatures are intimately connected with the land itself. In their eyes, humans and sea terrors no different.
Frost does not answer. She is intoxicated by the melody, consumed by the passion. Calcite knows that the question was rhetorical.
Calcite, was this also part of your plans? For them to sit on the coast, while the Panel Battalion dives into the sea?
If you choose to believe so, then yes.
But the Panel Battalion didn't even have the time to prepare even a single ship for us.
There's already one sitting along the shore. It's been years since the Grand Pharaoh project was scrapped.
First, we must uproot the evil that still grips this land. I remain an Inquisitor. I will not sit idly by and watch the corruption that's been infesting Iberia slip away right before my eyes.
Whoa. Are you alright? Let go of me. Don't just go around picking people up. I see a little bit of red on your face. But, my fragile little bird, how will you climb up this tall deck if I don't carry you? Oh, now it's gone. That's not what I meant. Forget it. What's the matter? I don't think we've seen animation like that before. Inquisitor Irene simply stares blankly at the scenery in front of her. A dim sliver of light in the front of the pitch-black sea. In front of the ship's mast, time seems to have stood still for the past 60 years. So this is Stultifera. Stultifera Navis. The ship of fools. The flagship that housed both scholars and soldiers. The floating palace of a fallen dynasty. It's quite different from how it's described in the books. Let's go. Wait! What are you even searching for on a ship this big? Ryogen was an Aegir. This key must have been hiding some sort of clue that the Aegir wanted to leave behind. The key? What is it meant to open? That's what I'm here to find out. Even ignoring its size, the ship's also been lost at sea for 60 years. How do you even plan to... Perhaps you young Iberians haven't had much exposure to these transport vessels. Even Bryogen's help, this thing was so shoddily built. Why you... The sea's calm on our way here. I'm sure you know the answer. And my next question for you is this. Why didn't this ship sink? You know what I mean. Footsteps. Heavy, viscous footsteps. A shadow appears upon the deck, where no living being should stir. No. Irene immediately reprimands herself for having such a thought. Claudia's question was also on her mind. Along the shore, in the waters, she'd already seen so many of these. Oh, okay. Hi, buddy. I'm just gonna let you know, belts really don't do anything unless you're wearing pants. Just gonna let you know. Okay. Now that you know, we can move on. The moment she sees an enemy, the young, talented Inquisitor Irene's first instinct is to hold her breath. By the time she remembers how to breathe, Claudia has already stepped forward. Interesting. You managed to dodge it. Not for long. Don't even think about it. What? It hid inside the cabin. Should we chase it? Yes, that is where it went. But why would it hide inside? We're out in the middle of the ocean. What do we do? It's not alone. There's more than one seaboard on the ship.
Even more sea terrors. We should split up. I'll go left, right? I'll head down. Down? Do you people already know? Do you people already know the layout of the ship? We don't. That's something a sharp blade can't solve. Excuse me? This is the most important legacy of Iberian sages we're talking about here. And where will you go, little bird? I have an obligation to supervise you, so I'll go with you. There are so many mysteries surrounding the Stultifera. It's been preserved as well. Why did it never try to return to Iberia in the last 60 years? As an Inquisitor, I must uncover the truth. Shall we hold hands, then? What's the meaning of this? You are a fruit of elegance and grace. But your hard work and natural talents are worthless before the enemies you'll face. I fear we will lose you with but a momentary lapse of focus. You look down on others too much, Aegir. Keep her safe, then. Will do. Shark? Hmm? Did you remember something? The sea breeze told me. It spoke of a sculpture. Just weeping. Waiting for me. Will I be able to find it on this ship? Of course. But make it quick. I'll be waiting for you. What sculpture? Well, let us say our greetings to the deceased while searching for his whereabouts, Scotty. I'm glad you still remember my name. This place, it really is fit to be a palace. But how is it so pristine? There's not a speck of dust to be found. Look, even the floorboards are sparkling. Maybe someone wanted to keep it tidy. Who, though? Who knows? You said you were going to pursue that monster. How are you planning on doing that? Its scent doesn't lie. Though, this place is full of putrid smells. There must be more. Sea terrors. As expected, they turned this place into a nest. I'll handle this. Wait, Spectre! Scent's coming from below. Ishar Mla. Ishar Mla. I recognize this room. The mirror is slightly more intact than I remember them. That impact. Are you alright, Spectre? Spectre? Laurentina? What are you looking at? A mirror? Why is there a mirror? The mirror's been broken. It doesn't look broken. Gotta be honest. That looks pretty intact to me. But okay. Sure. What's with this place? Did the Iberians make a transport vessel into a palace? It's nothing like Rhodes Island. Is there anything special about the mirror? I saw it. At first, there was a speck of light from the surface of the shattered mirror. But it quickly gave way to the dark shadow beneath it. Its eye. The Seaborn had long been waiting here, sitting alone in its golden hall. Ishar. Tina. Oh, Tina. Lauren. Tina. It's young. No, we can't judge its strength by its size. Another Seaborn, without a doubt. Sea terrors too. They're gathering, Spectre.
Spectre ignores her words as she stares blankly at the mirror and at the Seaborn behind it.
You remember me?
The Seaborn nods slightly. He looks at Spectre and Scotty with confusion, thinking, why are they different from how they were in the past? What happened to them? How can it help free them from the shackles of flesh and blood? Spectre?
Don't think about it. I'm not.
Her tone had changed. Scotty looks at Spectre with astonishment. She had never been able to get a definite answer from either Gladia or Calcite regarding the moment of clarity Spectre displayed in Salviento.
Laurentina, you...
Laurentina?
Yes, Laurentina. Look here on the skull hanging from my weapon. Back when I wrote my name down and hung it here, I could still remember where I was born. A lucid dream, huh? Really, it's been too long.
Spectre?
We can reminisce later. Whether in Salviento or aboard this familiar yet unfamiliar vessel, I really hope the next time I'm awakened, it's by Ager's respondent domes instead of you ugly monsters. Hey, thanks for sitting back and letting me finish. Wait, you weren't seriously about to call us your kid, were you? Gross. Come on, why don't you take a little nap too? Sink into the quagmire of consciousness and relinquish the gift of life.
She has become unchained! I expect to see a new kind of enemy. One that I am more than likely not going to like. Oh, what is this?
マップと敵座標の DMA 設定を適用しています。
What are you? After falling below half HP, spreads Netherseat brand to tiles it traverses over and gains increased defense and block requirement. Thanks, I hate it. Oh, and of course it walks around all friggin' okay. Okay. Oh, you little okay. You're gonna do it like that, huh? Let's hope this works. Oh, for the love of... Ah, screw you.
ターゲットロックオン。
Oh my gosh. Can be placed there. Craft can only be stopped with 2 block ops. Yep. Okay, hold on. Let's put this down slower.
Yes, sir. If you want to hurt my friends,
アースユニット起動します。安心して。きっと大丈夫だから。ご命令を。I'll do my best.
Oh, it's gonna go right in, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Ah, boy. Okay.
Inquisitor must never yield in the face of evil.
Not just if they hit half when they stand on the brand, yeah.
I can't die here. Not yet.
Of course it is. Okay then. Let's try this again. Let's do something stupid here, shall we? Okay, so that's not gonna work. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, so that plan failed. Duly noted. Oh, I already failed one. Okay, well. Last enemy was an arts tank, this one's a physical tank. Okay, noted.
壁の外の戦いはこんなに残酷なものだったんですか。
Only 3 enemies. Great. B and C, yeah. Give a tip that would make the stage easier. Yeah, let me give it a couple more tries. These guys aren't that bad. Okay. The little runners are just there so that you have to take them an extra deployment slot to go and deal with them. So Golden Glow's not going to be able to come out right at the start. That's not going to happen. You could possibly go and put down Blue Poison near the start, though. She has a relatively small cost, so we might go and do that. AOV is, or KOV is basically maxed out, you know. Can handle both of them with S2 or S3 respectively. Well, boy, come on, place down. There we go. Modular kit has its perks. Okay, this is where stuff's gonna start to get a bit funky here. I didn't really do much there, did it? I swear! It was dead. It was literally dead. And yet it still got into the box. If you were to look at the code, it would say 0 HP but critically wounded. Which means it is dead. But it's allowed to keep walking for another 10 seconds. Which is so stupid. It should not be allowed to take away a life. Okay. Okay, I'll leave you be.
不法者はどこだ。たくあんず納豆ご飯。Locked and loaded.
Build K fully. The skin looks really good except for the S3.
たくあんず俺のキリステン。
Okay. Time for the ridiculously stupid to come along. Here goes nothing.
ターゲットロックオン。
たくあん納豆ご飯。納豆ご飯。See the light of my lantern? I'm right here. See the light of my heart. Will be the judge.
Kinda.
世相に任す。俺のキリステン。
I'll do my best. じゃあこの宴会の歌に耳を傾けて。
どうぞ勝利か。アンコン少女。俺のキリステン。
That's fine. That's gonna keep spreading.
Can I really do it?
Not there.
いい天気だね。
This is fine. Now.
乾きすぎね。
If a Fartooth E2 and use her a decent amount. I was not able to pull a Fartooth. Wait just a moment. Of course, the one that explodes is the one that missed.
世相に納豆ご飯。
There we go. You know, I figured this wave was going to be a bit bigger than that. There they are.
たくあん納豆ご飯。
Boy!
たくあん俺のキリステン。
Okay, good. That's not gonna fly. Is that's not gonna fly on the boy. Not at all. Okay. There goes nothing. Oh, okay, sure. Part of her going dodge, yeah.
少しは打ち漏らすかと思ったけど、うまくいったみたいだね。
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I guess we just start from the left and just keep going. I guess. It says of user both S2 and S3 during the event. S3 with the final stage. Oh boy. Boy. That makes me a little bit less excited to reach the final stage. There are several pieces of damaged art in the officers' lounge. Large, torn-apart oil paintings, pure white sculptures shattered to pieces. Caved-in bronze reliefs, There are also more bizarre things, like a billiards table inlaid with silver, and a number of poker cards with intricate patterns that appear to be hand-drawn. I'll search the lounge. For whatever reason, the traces of the passing years can be seen on this note. It has never been moved, replaced, or dusted, always remaining in its original position, faithfully conveying the message left by the one who penned it, day after day, year after year. Don't touch them. Those are my treasures, and you'll pay anything. You'll pay if anything goes missing. Try to control yourself the next time you get into a fight. There aren't that many things left on the ship to prove where we came from. After the passage of a great many moons, the original witnesses have long disappeared, but these manuscripts remain elegant and dignified. Strange noise comes from the distance. Seems that this ball has not yet ended. Okay, you can't do anything with a domed elevator, I guess. Inside the bathroom, everything looks good as new, and drops of water dribble from the spigot. The only unusual thing is that the mirrors have all been shattered. Now are only able to reflect broken images. But still unused supplies in the storage box under the sink. A strange noise comes from the room, as if something is persistently rapping against the wall. Regular and hollow. Persistent and monotonous. We open the door! But surprisingly, it's a sea terror. Stumbles to a halt and turns around. The sea terror has also possessed a mental state of confusion. And the sea terror before your eyes is without a doubt confused. It seems to have been battling a wall for some time now. The side of its thorny, bloody, and... The side of its body thorny... Okay, thank you, brain. The side of its body thorny and chitinous from the collisions. If it has no way to leave, it will ultimately give up, turning itself into nutrients for its kin. Its body has been impaled with a string of keys, likely remnants of its last mortal struggle. Whatever object had likely broken their blade and reached for whatever sharp objects were available, persisting until the bitter end. Perhaps the wound just happened to cut into a certain nerve node in the sea terror. Or perhaps there was some other reason it escaped the crew quarters and decided to do battle against a wall. There might even be another possibility. In any case, pull out the keys, put an end to its miserable existence. You now head back to the officer's lounge and open the inner door. The locked door has been opened. The area inside the lounge originally was a small conference room. By the looks of things, the last meeting here did not go very well. Documents are strewn all over the ground, trampled by panicked footprints. A huge chart hangs in the conference room, marking the positions of every ship in the Grand Fleet. The icons that once represented their existence have all been extinguished, leaving the chart empty. Its azure background now symbolizes the boundless ocean upon which this flagship floats, alone. And thus the mightiest fleet ever known to Terra quietly dissolved into this blue expanse. Join the pride and ambition of Iberia past. This used to be the tool room on the Stultifera, used to store instruments, tools, and supplies needed for the ship's maintenance. But for a ship that had to endure a horrific calamity, losing its mobility in the process, banking on these tools alone might be a bit of wishful thinking. Let's search the cabinet first. It may well be the case that even the most skilled craftsmen of today's nations would be helpless before these devices. Not because of how complex their structure is, but rather from the difficulty of operating their arts units. Most of these tools are fairly simple for a beginner to operate. A flip of a switch and a few button presses, and they'll spring to life and efficiently get the job done. The only issue is, nobody knows exactly why they work. Just as humans cannot imagine walking without legs or grasping without hands, these machines lack any kind of reasonable engine or power supply mechanism. Only God knows how they work. The way they use originium is completely different. Rummage through the drawers. At the bottom of the drawer is a sheet of paper that is long since yellowed. Next to it are words written in striking red paint. Don't go to the deck. Don't jump overboard. Don't allow yourself to sink. Read it. Remember it. Remember who you are. This piece of paper seems to have been cut from the officer's manual. It is filled with flamboyant rhetoric boasting that the ship can be called a palace on the Iberian Sea, a mobile throne for exalted kings. The officers and researchers lucky enough to be selected as a part of the crew of the Stultifera Navis, were the most outstanding talents of Iberia's golden age. One of the passages was marked with the highlighter. In any given era, there are only so many names that will be remembered. History, in all its cruelty, shows no mercy to the mediocre. Congratulations, most glorious crew member. You will surely enter the annals of history. Well, we see how that kind of went. Well, wait. We won't do that just yet. A storage room full of spare nails. Unfold one, and you will find a canvas decorated with golden threads, and carefully embroidered with the pattern of the Iberian flag. Maybe there will be some useful supplies found here. Defeat 40 Nether Sea Spewers. Okay, we're at 12. Above this room's door hangs a sign that reads First Galley. From the size and scale of this kitchen alone, one can already imagine the grand occasions on which sumptuous dishes would emerge from here. The freezer is frozen shut, so we will open the door and search first instead. As its name suggests, the First Galley is one of several kitchens. In addition, there's a kitchen for preparation and plating, another for desserts, and so on. The crew here is served delectable dishes worthy of their honorable statuses. Or, at least they were in the past. Naturally, the calamity and the starvation that ensued quickly and mercilessly stripped people of their veneer and virtue. Of their veneer of virtue, excuse me. However, let us pray that the blackened bloodstains in the corner of the galley are but accidental spatters from the chef carving a sister-beast steak. The desalination unit installed in the kitchen seems to have been out of use for many years. Even the hardest of races cannot survive by drinking sea water. Their ultimate fate was to die of dehydration in the middle of the ocean. This ballroom has entertained all sorts of guests. Why not head to the First Galley and see if there are any delicacies there yet to be served? Okay, we were just there. Okay. Okay. The lower hall. His eyes widen with anger. His hand not letting go of the helm for decades. Here we go. The further in we go, the more sea terrors there are. It's getting dangerous. Maestro, how do I become like them?
Yeah.
Seaborn. It's the same one we saw on the deck. Hunter's attacks didn't do any damage. How did it come at me? With its limbs? With its fangs? My hand cannon. I need to create distance. Wait a second. What's that on your belt? Why would you... Could you be...
What strength! I barely managed to block it.
Hey,
Do you have something to say, monster? I can't go down here. I won't. I am an Inquisitor of Iberia.
It has taken too long to burn away the Nethersy brand. The situation's not looking good.
I can see what's going on down there from here. How many hours have passed? How much longer can he hang on? If I... No, don't think about it, Jordy. Focus. The Inquisition. Hurry. Is that all? Listen to your friend's wail. The flower of Salviento had at least had its beauty. But what about you? It's my first dance lesson after waking up. I must say, you're underwhelming. It's getting away. I'll go after it. You will find the little Iberian bird. How are you feeling? Better than ever. My memories are tumbling down like a waterfall from the heavens. It'll take a while for the full picture to emerge, though. And some of my more recent memories are rather embarrassing. I'll go. Your mind is still unstable. Oh, trying to steal my prey? It'll try to escape to the sea. Of course it will. It wasn't just running around because it couldn't win. What did it find? We don't have the time. I'll never get used to hand cannons. Hey, where are you? Huh? The Abyssal Hunters. Hello, Irene. You've brought us some more play. Did you just call me Irene? Have you regained your memories? Not entirely. But I know I'm in a great mood right now. This is not the time. That's the one from the deck. It's fast enough to dodge the captain's lunge. Really must tip my hat to you, Irene, for chasing it all the way here without taking a scratch. I can't take credit for it. It hardly even attacked. Look, it's still not, even now. I see. I thought it wouldn't be able to resist if we chatted like this and it showed in an opening. Your friend just left, you know. You thought you'd let you go after them. Or are you a pacifist too? Casimir's. A landlocked country where Scotty stayed for a time. A place of sprawling grasslands and forests. The land of knights. Knights. Is it a coincidence, or did something draw him there? This ship, Brigand. What did you intend to leave behind for your homeland? Where have you hidden your answer? Sea terror carcasses. And not only that, the wounds are clean and precise. They show no signs of resistance. Scents mingle in the air. The air here is stale. What else is there on this ship? Your belt and pocket watch are undoubtedly human in origin, and even in the Iberian style. What are you? It's stalling for time. This will get complicated if the other one gets back to the ocean. Still not attacking? What a passive dance partner. I'll take the lead, Scotty. Right.
I don't know. I'm making noises. I'm doing my best.
Come on, fight back already. I'm starting to feel like the bad guy. No, not stalling for time.
Who defiles my Iberia? Heathens.
The sound of bells. What?
I'm not searching. Bells echo through the empty hall. The lights in the hall flash. The Seaborn lands in the direction of the throne while the three are distracted. Yes, the throne. There's a throne on this Iberian ship. The symbol of pride, power, arrogance, and deceit. It's like... Spectre trails off. Knowing what she was about to say was far too absurd. It wears a crown and drapes itself in the same colors as the curtains. It kneels by the side of the throne, the two inextricably bonded with one another. It resembles the queens and ministers of old, serving the golden sun of Iberia. A silhouette emerges from behind the throne. Irene raises her lantern over her head, trying to illuminate the shadowy figure.
Why do you set foot on my ship? Who would ignore a question from the great Alfonso? Why are you here? Why have you broken the silence and come for my Iberia, which had lain forgotten for decades? I'll start with you. Answer me, child of old Iberia.
Irene cannot believe her eyes. She'd seen the Seaboard's face before. She had devoted much of her time during the Inquisitor's training to the study of history, immersing herself in doctrines and creeds. How dare the Seaborn claim to be Alfonso? How dare it claim to be Iberia's greatest ship captain? You can't possibly be the captain of this ship, monster. Alfonso was almost 50 years old 60 years ago, but you look even younger than the great hero was back then. Irene knows she is shaken, but she cannot show weakness. She reflexively raises her lantern, as her commanding officer would have. Drop the mask, Seaborn. The light of her lantern flickers. The tiny speck in the Inquisitor's hand seems to fit the word lost better than the lights of this golden hall. The golden age. The Seaborn briefly lays its eyes on Irene before turning away dismissively, rubbing Alfonso's inhuman arm. A short silence surrounds the hero.
Seaborn? I don't like that name. Tell me your name, child of old Iberia.
I am Irene, Inquisitor of Iberia. And old Iberia? You dare defile the name of...
And you dare talk to me like that?
The screech interrupts the exchange.
Where were you when we burned Victoria's ships and sunk the Lion King's honor to the bottom of the lake? Where were you when I paved the streets of Salviento with pure gold, brought back in my ships? What were you when the Tercios descended... Where were you when the Tercios darkened Lithanian's dawn like a black cloud?
You...
I am Alfonso, Duke of Old Iberia, Admiral of the Armada, Captain of the Stultifera, and King of my own kingdom. You, a mere Inquisitor, question me. So the Church's fools have crossed the ocean to find me. What did you expect? A pat on the back? Go back. No matter how you got here, the Stultifera Navis does not welcome you. Garcia, my chief mate. No need to be so bothered by them. They will repay the sea 1,000-fold for the blood they made you spill.
Mocking the Inquisition is a serious crime in Iberia.
Do you not understand what I just said? Leave. There is not a single soul on this ship, child of old Iberia.
Sacrifice so much to... I'm not here to ask for your permission.
Such impertinence. This is why I never liked the church. A crime? Like it's a church too helpless to stand for even the feeble royal house. You're really from old Iberia. Then tell me, who is the incubate pope?
Carmen. You know Saint Carmen's name?
Saint? A saint? A saint?
What are you laughing at?
He didn't even have the metal to become a pope. Does he not feel ashamed when he sees himself in the mirror? Wonder it took you 60 years to find this place. This new disaster has made Iberia weak. But no matter. Before the ship's doctor joined the corals, we discussed what might have become of Iberia. This is not unexpected. The floor that you stand on, this immaculate golden hall, this is the motherland I know. This is Iberia, not the backwater you speak of, half of which you refuse to see or understand. How far has the once great empire fallen? Is it really so pathetic that it took you 60 years to find me?
Alfonso descends from the podium. Irene takes a step back. Her lantern flickers.
Now then, where are the two Aegir with you? There is no place for Aegir in my Iberia.
We meant no offense, Captain. You're merely chasing some ugly monsters and mistook your chief mate for one of them. How did you survive so long here?
That's the question, ain't it, you Aegir fools? It's been so many years since I took up hunting as a hobby. Either today or tomorrow should have been the day of reckoning. But you chased away my quarry, and I must once again rely on those... No, wait, no. You are not Aegir. You're more than Aegir. Both of you. What's your name?
Scotty.
No, Aegir. Do not try to deceive me. We may have been trapped on the ship for decades, but we are no fools. They call you Ishar Mla.
Oh. Do you hear the bells, Elpionus?
It's a miracle that anything on this ship works at all.
Here, the bells signal the start of the hunt.
But who's the hunter and who's the prey?
The children of the ocean don't care. They consider Alfonso to be their kin, albeit weakened. They're willing to offer their own flesh and blood to ensure all the survival of the strong. A hunter approaches.
Claudia, she's too sharp. The skills I learned on land will only work for so long. She'll detect me soon.
What will you do?
What will you do?
Answer your question with a question. I'm interested in your choice, I'll be honest. I never expected to become interested in the Abyssal Hunters again, but Laurentina fascinates me. I see so much possibility in her. And you've made your choice of your own accord, while retaining your sanity. Have you noticed? More and more, you're becoming like one of us. Can you reach the truth? Cast aside revelation, lay open the body of God, and learn the truth of the gods of the sea. The answer you're seeking is tantalizing. Look at me, showing curiosity. Perhaps there's something human in me yet.
The revelation has imprinted upon the instincts of God's children. Our ways of thinking could not be more different.
Oh my. You sound even more like a Seaborn than I do.
I take it the freezer is unfrozen. Yep, the freezer is unfrozen. Mist scatters in every direction when the freezer door is opened. It's been on this entire time. Dozens of sea terror carcasses are lined up neatly in the freezer. There are many different kinds. Some no longer complete. Their wounds smooth and most likely caused by a clean cut. A few other skeletons of various shapes and sizes have been hung in a way that can be described as disconcerting, but it is simply a collection of different evolutionary trajectories. From the differing rates of discoloration in the bones, their ages vary as well, possibly spanning decades. By the looks of it, this ship was also welcome some non-speaking guests. Come as you please, leave in pieces. Freely does wine pour, bodies litter the floor.
You've returned. Thank you for your contribution. I know how painful it must be for someone like you to go against your faith. But Providence lies just ahead. This is by no means a false promise, but true redemption. I thank you.
Lord Carmen is far beyond our comprehension. There's no point trying to deceive him. You'll discover the truth before long. You should also thank Thiago. Elias condemned him to death at the hands of the Inquisition.
I have never seen the Herald of the Sea, but rumor has it the Herald will not refuse the quest of its kin. Because the choices of kin must surely benefit the entire kind. The thoughts of kin must also be shared by the entire kind. We are to learn from this, that this is also a part of the cycle.
Then we'll let Thiago worry about himself.
Ah, you still have doubts. They are unnecessary.
Our prophet, Miss Amaya, would she really be able to come back?
She has simply chosen to return to the sea one step ahead of us.
She is to locate our path, our herald,
the trails of the sleeping city. If she returns, it is to help her kin. If she is not, it is because she is making preparations. We needn't worry too much about her. Just know that she wishes to avoid the scrutiny of the Inquisition, regardless of where she may be.
And this person, the Siberian, why did we abduct him?
His patroness seems to have made some kind of agreement with Carmen. He is an enemy.
I really wish you'd choose another way of describing my relationship with the Doctor.
You've been investigating us, have you not? I've devoted quite a lot of time explaining our ideals to you, and we would prefer not to hurt you. Have you thought things through?
I think I've heard everything I need to know about your hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy? Oh, you still speak of morality. The morality of the human realm.
I couldn't care less what these sea terrors or seaborn really are. All I see are a bunch of outlaws inventing a reason to vent their frustrations with Iberia and the Inquisition. Well, I haven't lived here for a particularly long time. I am an Iberian. And I've been to a lot of places and seen a lot of different things. People like you who think they're special are actually a dime a dozen. The gods you talk about are real, and all that nonsense about being the pinnacle of evolution or the bleeding edge of life. And surely those gods must look down on people like you, right?
How dare you?
No, he's right. That is why the Herald no longer speaks to us. That is why only Amaya can hear the voice of the ocean, and only she can guide us.
So there really was something off about Amaya. Should have caught on sooner. That said,
how is it looking?
Whatever those things of yours are, that Nenesee brand, they aren't able to get to the center of town at all. That black monster can do more than fly. It can even belch out terrifying jets of flame. The Nenesee brand can't spread faster than it's being burned. If this gets dragged out, the Grand Fair will fall into the Inquisition's hand as soon as the T-Sarriers are holding back the Panel Battalion are exterminated. Then we will all die.
No, Thiago, no. All these things you speak of, you do not agree for the kin who willingly give themselves up to hold back our enemies. In other words, you are not yet resolved to sacrifice yourself for our entire kind at a moment's notice.
Don't talk to me like that. Our interests happen to line up this time.
I'm just an old bogey with no interest in becoming an ocean hugger.
What a lowborn, stubborn creature.
Same to you, friend. And you, lad. Didn't I warn you not to meddle in other people's affairs?
Iago, you know each other.
He's just an outsider who kept hanging around in the chapel. As the mayor, I need to have some idea of every person who's in town. Should have stayed out of it. Right then. We should act soon, right? Or we're gonna wait for the Inquisitor and his monster-wielding accomplice to burn my town to the ground.
We will not. You seem awfully attached to this city. Why?
Grenfero is the embodiment of our generation-spanning vision to rebuild our country, heretic. Ask any of the Iberians who joined you and you'll understand. The Inquisition has taken enough from us, and I intend to pay them back double.
I am Scotty. Not a Sharm Law.
You pronounce it differently, but what does it mean?
Scotty knows, but dares not answer. Claudia told her that she is all right. She is willing to believe her. But that is only an escape. She knows what the name means. It means a thunderous roar within the abyss. Flesh and bone rubbing against the rock walls until only the will remains, surging beyond the ocean. It means that after the harrowing battle, something was left in her body. Something.
My blood and your blood are identical. You smell my scent, exactly as we smell your scent. You find us? Yes. But we do not understand we killed you too. We feed the ocean. Our bodies have provided for the ocean. We possess the same home. Inquisitor, how dare you join forces with them?
What?
Get off my ship this instant, otherwise you'll join them in my hunt as the quarry.
Easy there, Mr. Captain. Now tell me, how did you come to learn of this name?
I'll tell you exactly how. We ate the flesh of these things and our bodies began to change. I personally executed 3 of the survivors until only we remained. Now it's my turn to ask you. Their blood also flows in their veins. I can smell it. And you must be more special than the others.
What are you?
Look at my hand.
Scotty looks down. One of the captain's arms has taken the form of a seaborn. Its newly formed webbing clearly visible, and its tentacle-like extensions are ever squirming. He seems to be making an effort to restrain it. By the looks of it, whatever is inside his arm is also interfering with his body.
It thirsts for my mind. It tells me to liberate you, to talk to you, to listen to your thoughts. Get off my ship before I kill a lot of you. Only by killing you can I maintain my sanity as a human. Be gone!
You're paying an immense price just to get here. If you truly are that Iberian hero, then you should join us.
Think carefully, little Inquisitor. I've been in a bitter struggle for my life on the ship far longer than my homeland has been at war. What can you possibly understand? A single year of confinement can break a person's will. You have any idea how many years we've spent here, flirting with the waves? 7 or 8 years ago, I personally executed the last crew member and threw him into the sea. He died as a human. He was the last to. We were Iberia's best sailors, warriors, scientists, stalwarts in our faith. The most common way to die aboard this ship was suicide. You can't imagine what I've been through. The left side of my body snatched away even in my dreams. I no longer need sleep. That itself was a form of torture. And during this prolonged torture, I've had naught to do but hunt those monsters, large and small, and while away the remaining hours polishing my ship. Leave me and my chief mate be, and return from where you came from. I don't belong to you or to the sea. I belong only to my Iberia, to the Stultifera Navis.
He's gonna be the boss, isn't he? Claudia stops walking. While she contemplates why this place is so clean, she notices a change in the scent. Seaboard. Of course there are seaboard here. But what is the cause of this impure odor? Where did this vague premonition she is starting to feel come from? She can only continue walking, following the path etched in the back of her mind, and attempt to reach the depths of the ship. Suddenly, she comes to a stop. Don't you think you're being a bit obtuse, appearing on this primitive transport vessel that hasn't docked in over 60 years? Bishop of the Deep? You saw through me immediately. Do you suppose that means I chose the wrong place to appear? You followed us here. Hardly. Strictly speaking, I was the one who arrived first. The ocean communicates with me. It accepts me. It aids me. From the very beginning, going to this ship was a trivial task. That you've been able to suppress your urge to rush forward and slay me is already quite impressive. Is it because you feel the ship is vital to your grand plans? What are you after? You killed Quintus. I should have known better. Even you test tube watching bottom feeders, pardon my language. Will pursue vengeance? No, you misunderstand. Quintus was a bit too eager to attain results. And that temperament of his not only led to his demise, but also demonstrated conclusively that he was born human. Not that that's something to be ashamed of. Under our doctrine, we will never become what we seek to be by thought alone. Only changes to nerve and sinew can be considered real. Wouldn't you agree, Abyssal Hunter? We don't need to be enemies. I have no plans to do anything to you. One's end is decided at the moment of one's birth. Nothing can change this immutable fact. You went through all the effort to follow us out to sea, to dispute this nonsense. Excuse me. Oh, how about that? That's not something you need to know. Those lowly creatures won't be able to hold me back. Amaya smiles sweetly but does not answer. A blue light emerges from under her feet, and it soon envelops the entire corridor. She's spreading the nether sea brand. Okay, well, apparently I didn't need to say that if I was going to say it 2 seconds later. The nether sea brand at Grand Pharaoh. So those traps were your handiwork. Hardly. You're all so quick to blame your every misfortune on the Church of the Deep. We never stop to consider the truth behind these phenomena. These children have always existed in Grand Pharaoh. I simply murdered them. What the crap? We're out in the middle of the ocean. Our touch, invisible to the naked eye, is everywhere. This ship may not be of much use in your quest to return to Aegir. But, do you really insist on returning? Have you never had the slightest inclination to listen to what the heralds have to say? Seems you aren't too different from that stupid bishop after all. You've never been in a real fight. Otherwise, you'd never say such an idiotic thing to a hunter. No. Not all hunters take such pride in their arrogance. We will meet again, Claudia. You've disappointed me, but that's fine. Perhaps it's for the better that you have something to break out of. Meaning? But whether you come or go, or whether Aegir comes and goes, is not for me to decide. You won't be leaving this conversation alive, though. Oh, really?
What is that? I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
Quintus should have had a herald by his side. You fought with that herald. You spoken with that herald. While you stagnate in place, the ocean is ever in motion. Aegir is far from smart enough to curb evolution itself. Hold it.
Ah.
Such weak, pitiful prey cannot even speak. We're like a beast. Hurry up and die. I still have a score to settle with that bishop. I need answers from her.
Did you hear that, chief mate? Our quarry brays. It calls out to us.
The monster known as the chief mate nods slightly and uses its claws to straighten the crown that started to slip from its head.
It brays. It calls out to us. You brought yet more rabble with you.
It must be the swordfish. She must have discovered something. Something unusual about the smell here. The sea breeze is confusing us.
Good thing these filthy Aegir haven't scared it away. We've already been romping around for months, and I hate to see my ship even more beat up.
By hunt, you mean you're hunting the seaborn?
Seaborn? Sure am. Hunting to live off the bounty of the land. Hasn't humanity done so since the dawn of time? What if you still haven't left by the clock's next chime? You will die.
Oh, man.
Question is, will the bishop or the captain be the boss? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm thinking we do this last check, and then I think maybe we call it here for the day. Partially because my voice is starting to get hoarse. I don't want to push it much further. The dome elevator in the middle of Stultifera connects to various levels of this great battleship. When riding it, one may witness Iberia's breathtaking scenery depicted across the walls. Standing here is like standing in the center of the world. Okay, I won't do any more story, but we'll continue. I won't do any more like full-length cutscenes, but we'll continue onwards for a little bit longer. Because if I can just speak in my normal voice, then I'm okay. The training area packed with sea terrors, seemingly startled awake by the sound of hunting bells. This place, once used for human training, is now their hatchery. In the darkness, sets of eyes shine with an eldritch glow. The sounds of crawling and slithering fill the air, and their hostility is practically palpable. Draw your blade. This is a battle for survival. In the end, a sea terror is nothing more than a sea terror, and the battle soon reaches its conclusion. They slink back into the darkness to recuperate, awaiting their next opportunity. That is the nature of the hunt. You are either the hunter or the prey. A rather large sea terror died under the watch of its kin. From its pedicle? Pedicel? Peduncle. I legitimately have never seen that word before. From its pentacle hangs a pocket watch, which, based upon its engravings, once belonged to the navigator of Stultifera Navis. From the perspective of their species' survival, would sea terrors ever evolve the compulsion to collect? Oh boy. Oh my gosh, there's so much to explore on this giant ship. SN7, you mentioned this earlier, right? The final stage is stage 7 too. Yep, okay. Well, not exactly looking forward to this one. There are a few horrible gashes left on the walls of this corridor. Perhaps the records room will tell exactly what happened here. The records room most likely housed all of Iberian's Grand Fleet's confidential files at one point. All sorts of... My brain just completely lost my spot. I think I skipped a line. The records room most likely housed all of the Iberian Grand Fleet's confidential files at one point. All sorts of documents related to personnel, deployment plans, and tactical arrangements were sealed away into safes, one by one. Now, they are nothing more than piles of refuse. We searched the room. Other than a table, a few chairs, and a lamp in the middle of the room, and the safes of various sizes lining up all the way to the ceiling, there are practically no other items here. The person in charge of this place must have been quite organized. Most of the safes here haven't been locked, the documents inside them now meaningless. Only one of the larger ones remains firmly shut, requiring a passcode to open. A strange rubbing noise comes from beside your ear. Quickly retreat to the golden corridor and prepare to confront the unknown foe. There is nothing of interest in the hall at this moment. You're much more interested in the place labeled as the confinement room. That's what this was, right? Yeah. A chapel included on the ship. Its icon overlooking every guest who visits. Many years ago, sailors once came here to confess their sins and unburden their souls. Now the only thing that might enter this ornate chapel is the occasional lost sea terror. We search the chapel. An icon looks over every guest who comes here. Before the calamity, the Church of Iberia had already drifted from Lateran orthodoxy. It no longer wished its flock to be shackled by the Lateran wall, and His Holiness in Laterano seemed unaware of the schism. In the end, the Iberians discovered that only they can bring themselves salvation. The ship's chapel is a typical product of the post-schism era. Its icon no longer holding a gun, but instead taking up a sword and lantern. The Church of Iberia has already written its own scriptures, but with the king's support, plans to have a pope of its own. Now that all of this has been reduced to ash, the only Inquisition remains to lead Iberia forward. Only the Inquisition remains to lead Iberia forward. In the corner of the church lies a row of standard-issue sailor hats. Their original owners long gone, hidden beneath the waves. However, this token of commemoration is enough to prove that there are still those who do not wish to forget them. Under one of the hats is a half-roll of cipher book pages. The remaining pages are filled with various ciphers, one of which matches with the password format seen in the records room. Unfortunately, it remains incomplete. The area inside the pipe shaft is a complete mess. It seems that some brutal fighting occurred here, and based on the sword marks left behind, both sides must have been human. This place is dark and messy. In a lightless corner lies a skeleton. No, upon closer inspection, you realize that it's actually two skeletons entangled together. One of the skeletons seemed so warped and twisted that it resembles the bones left behind by a certain species of sea terror. One longsword pierced through what had once been their chests, while a second sword remains in their grasp. By the looks of it, they had been the ones to drive the first sword through their bodies. Why would their deaths be like this? What was their relationship? What were they thinking before they died? Perhaps nobody will ever know. Around the skeletons, a half roll of cipher pages is sitting in the corner. The remaining pages are filled with various ciphers, one of which matches the password format seen in the records room. Unfortunately, it remains incomplete. Put together, they should complete the password needed for the safe. The heavy safe door slides open, revealing nothing inside except a copy of the ship's personal files. By reading it, you catch a glimpse of everything the Stultifera has suffered since the calamity. When the silence struck, the massive fleet collided with the terrible waves almost head-on, suffering heavy casualties. When the waves subsided, the Stultifera spent a while trying to find any other ships or survivors out in sea, but with little luck, as its own propulsion system had been damaged. Then the monsters appeared. Within half a month of the calamity, the crew had been reduced by more than half, every inch of the deck stained red with blood. A year later, the ship's supplies ran low and the remaining 100 crew members began their long struggle. The following records are filled with horrific, appalling words. Betrayal, madness, chewing, transformation. 20 years after the calamity, only 16 people remained alive and sane on the ship. And here, I believe I will have to call it. One, for the sake of time, and two, to make sure that I don't go overboard with my vocal cords. I'm no professional, but I at least can understand my body well enough. Do not wish to cause damage to me. Hopefully what I've been doing so far has been enjoyable, though. And it's not like I'm calling it terribly early. Probably only about 15 minutes earlier than what I would normally call it, so not too bad. Let's go ahead and head on over. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, wait, no, hold on. We need to do one other thing. One other thing. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait. Before you leave, let's roll.
どうしたの？目が覚めるやつでも飲む？
All right. Everybody crossing their fingers? All their fingers? I got 4 pairs of crossed fingers right now. I'll cross them again, technically make it 6. I don't think I can cross my toes, but I'll cross my legs and my arms. Okay. 10 roll. Here we go. Come on, Spalter. Do your eyes too? I kind of got to see the screen. That makes it a little bit difficult to see the screen. Maybe it could still do the... No, it's just 5 stars. I'm assuming it's just one fleet. No, it was... Okay. Did not expect Franca. Okay. Okay, sure. I guess. Well, that sucks. Oh well. We still got quite a bit more to go.
There's much more to be earned in this event. Many more free rolls, much more free Arundum. But that'll come at a later time. Now we can switch over. There we go. So let's see. Today was fun. I like to think we got through a pretty decent chunk. Of course, we still have to recognize that this is an incredibly long story. So, roll once, 749. Oh no, I didn't even realize. But then what happens with the free roll tomorrow? Then I'll be at 51 if I do that. Also, I just closed the VM. I can't get back into it without fully restarting everything. Bruh. Got the big chunk to the story of the event. Okay, that's good. I got the general feeling there will probably be at least a couple more pretty long cutscene stuff. And of course, whatever's attached onto the actual battles. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. I probably really shouldn't have closed it. I think EX stages are opening up in about a week, right? I could be wrong. But I don't know. Regardless, it seems like we'll be getting through the story. That, you know, we may be able to do some of the... We're getting through the story fast enough that we may be able to do some of the EX stuff on stream. Oh, is it tomorrow? Oh. Oops. Hold on. Oh, whoops. Well, I guess we'll have to speed to the story the next time it comes around to the game. Well... What tomorrow's actual plans are... it's Library of Ruina. Got 3 weeks to do all that. Yeah, we should have plenty of time. We should have enough time. Yeah, so tomorrow's plan is a Library of Ruina. So if you're maybe only being here for Arknights, I don't know, I can highly suggest Library of Ruina. It's a card building strategy game made by Project Moon, the same people who made Lobotomy Corp, if you've ever heard of that game. It's really, really cool. I personally have never played Lobotomy Corp, so if you have never seen Lobotomy Corp and you're still interested in maybe seeing what the game is about, you are more than welcome to join. I would be more than happy to catch people up on what happened. Ah, that game. I take it you know what it is then. Yes, Library of Ruina is the sequel to Lobotomy Corp. But it does not require you play Lobotomy Corp, so if anybody wants to see me go and attempt to do big brain stuff with a deck building card game, everything's fine, and then you look away and then suddenly the third trumpet sounding, yep. Can't wait, the next session is going to be fun. Ooh. I've been grinding up a little bit. It's kind of something that I've realized is actually like way more fun. Just trying to optimize the majority of the quota majority of people. Oh, fudge, oh, fudge, oh, fudge, oh, fudge. Oh, no, oh, fudge. A lot ahead of me. Yeah, I'd imagine. Because we only just recently reached Urban Legend, right? So, you know, we're only on level 3, essentially. We haven't even unlocked all the floors and all that. I know we got a lot to go. Which I'm excited about. I'm very happy with the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of Maybe not quite a bit. That may be an exaggeration. I've been doing at least a little bit of grinding off stream. Not too much. It's usually just like, oh, hey, look at that. I have an hour. I got all my work done for now before I need to go anywhere. We'll grind a little bit. Fight some grade 7 and grade 8 fixers. Pick up some more of those zero cost cards that'll give me 1 light. Be sure that I've collected all the books. I didn't figure out that I was missing 1 book from the Lulu fight. Because Lulu has a special book that can only drop at lower emotion levels. So if you're trying to grind it, you have to kill her as fast as possible before her emotion levels get up. And even then, it's not guaranteed. It's only like a 33% chance at emotion level 1. It's 50 at emotion level 0. And then after that, it goes away. So I only had like 3 or 4 of them. I burned 2, kept 2. And then, of course, for, I think it's just a Backstreets Fixer, I have like over 100 books of those. I kind of want to just go and burn them all just to see how many cards we get. How many pages. Yeah, that should be fun. If you've never seen that game before, I can highly recommend you come and check it out, maybe get a taste of it for yourself. It's got really cool soundtrack, really cool gameplay, and a really nice story, which if you're here watching Arknights, then I hope you're at least interested in gameplay and story, because I think it's pretty cool. As well as soundtrack too. Like, everything that's good about Arknights is also good about Library of Ruina, in a broad sense. That is. You know, it is very different, but it's very good in the same categories. But yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. And then the stream after tomorrow, I believe should be hopping back into Terraria, however you pronounce it. I've been having a ton of fun with that game. It's very different from what I usually do, but I don't know. I got nostalgic and I realized I really enjoyed it on stream, so there's some of that. And then after that, it should be the weekend, which if I recall correctly means Blackfest in Splatoon. So that's kind of the plan for the next few days. Yeah, so if you're interested in checking out any of that sort of stuff, if you enjoyed what you saw today, you see more of it, sort of that whole sort of shtick. Feel free to leave a follow. It's just a nice and easy way to, one, say hey, you like the stream, you like what you saw. It's also a nice and easy way to get notifications. Catch you next time? Yeah, catch you next time. Thanks for coming out. Yes, follows are a good way to get notifications. I send them out through both Twitch and Twitter right as I go live. So if you want to catch the streams right as they start, not have to worry about missing anything, feel free to follow on either one of those platforms. And maybe it's your first time seeing this part of the story, or maybe you want to just see some of the past stuff I've done. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel then. I have all of my VODs uploaded there, so you can check out pretty much anything I've ever played on stream. There's about a little more than a year's worth of content on there, so there's bound to be something you can find. And there's also the occasional short that I've been getting into to go and highlight certain funny moments in the streams, or just like less than 1 minute summary of what happened in the stream. If you're interested in seeing maybe my first impressions of Library of Ruina, there is the most recent short is of Library of Ruina from my first stream of it. Feel free to check that out if you are interested. Alright, shameless plugging is all done. Regardless of how you enjoy support, it all means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it happens to be wherever you are. And I hope to see you all again later. Thanks for coming and hanging out.